to Asylum Radio with your host, Aniee Mendoza.
Welcome to Asylum Radio. Hey, thank you for being here, okay? Like, I know it's super short notice.
No, it's okay. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, just pull the mic a little bit closer to you. They're just a little, just smooch it. Just pretend it's like a nice person who wants to have an uncomfortable conversation with you.
My little sister.
Exactly. We all have that person.
She's definitely that person. But yeah, don't worry about it. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm not doing shit anyways.
Well, I think nobody's doing anything because of this pandemic. Like at all. Like half the people lost their jobs.
Okay, I don't work from home, so I'm really not doing shit. I'm a writer. I'm always working on something.
So I was going to say thank you for coming because my last guest, I hit them up like a week in advance and they didn't show up.
Yeah.
So you were the next person on the list. So I hit you up yesterday and I was like, Anieshka, I need you. When are you available? And you're like, tomorrow, but I might not be 100% there.
I'm scared.
So tell me what's going on with you today. Like, what is today?
Today we took my son to preschool for the first time, and I am freaking out. The longest he's been away from me is like maybe a few hours at my mother-in-law's house. And it's not so bad.
So is it separation anxiety that you're having, or is it like just fear of what's going on that you can't see?
It's definitely fear of what's going on.
So they could be like indoctrinating him right now.
Oh my God, they could be like, I don't even want to know. They're going to take his hair down and braid it. It's going to piss me off for some reason. I don't know.
He's going to come back. He's going to be like, Mom, you never gave me my pronouns.
Oh my God, if he just says that whole sentence, I'll be super excited. I'll be like, okay, let's work on it then. Like,
Mom, seriously. Not, everybody else has pronouns, Mom. Where are mine?
Oh my God, I wish he talked. I wish he talked a little bit. Like, he says like simple shit like mom and dad. And
so maybe he's just a quiet child.
I think so. I do, because I do hear him say certain things, but I think he's just a quiet child, and it's gonna really suck.
So, did it ever get you worried, like how to have like I don't know, like a conversation with your child? Like, I don't have kids. Can you tell?
Oh yeah, I have one, and you can barely tell.
It's scary for sure. I've had the idea of kids, like, and I've had scares, and I'm like, can I survive a child?
No, you cannot. No, I can. Oh my, I never wanted kids.
No.
Hell no. Oh my God, no. He's an only child. It's not happening again.
Yeah, so no, really? No.
It was an amazing accident.
Isn't everybody? I haven't met one person, not one, who's ever told me, yeah, my parents planned it. They got together, they coordinated, they met with the doctor, he purposely jizzed in my mom, and then, I'm here.
My mom swears we were all planned, but I don't think so.
Do you believe it?
Fuck no. For sure my older sister was an accident, and then maybe my other older sister was planned, but not me and my little sister. Fuck no.
No, we're all accidents in my family. Like, they're all condom breaks or like no protection, whatever. We all got that talk.
I don't even know what happened with me. I was on birth control and just, hey, here you go, Anieshka, here's a baby.
Oh, so you're like that 1%, or what is it, that 10%?
I think it's like 0.1%.
Oh.
Yeah, right? I was like, really? I was so mad.
So technically you had about the same chances to win the lottery. No, that's way worse.
I might have you never know. You never know. Those numbers might be correct. Who knows?
Yeah, they're up there for sure. But with your son, when did you realize, like, hey, he's not saying much?
Maybe when his cousins came around. Like, he's got a 10. I think she's 10. I think. I don't know. And then a 4-year-old. Oh, she might be 5. I think she's 4. I'm terrible with their ages. But
okay,
they came around, and the one that's just a little bit older than him, she was like way more advanced in speech, and I was like, that's not good.
But like, what was your metric? Like, okay, they're saying full, because I'm talking because I don't have kids.
Yeah.
I don't know when they start to talk, or like, what, 1, 2, 7 months, like 9, 10.
Honestly, he's my only one, so I don't even fucking know.
Oh, okay, cool. So we're in the same boat. Yeah. So
I don't know. I just think like he's not putting very much together. Like he can count to like 10, but that'll be it. And then he won't say mom potty. He'll just say mom or just potty.
Oh, gotcha.
So,
and then everybody
I
else
think that's technically correct where he's at, but I also think he needs to know more words.
Yeah, let's find out. Let's see when children start developing speech. Let's find out. Let's see what Google says.
I know, like, when I talk to like other daycare centers or like doctors are like, oh yeah, COVID's playing a part in their development being behind. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's probably true, but I feel really bad for every kindergarten teacher who's the kids are like right now, because it's going to be terrible when all these kids start kindergarten, don't know what the fuck they're doing.
So did you try like reading to him or any? Yeah.
Yeah, I've tried reading. We had flashcards. That's where some of the words come from. Like the words that he does know are from the flashcards. Like he knows ice cream. He knows a lot of sign language too.
Whoa, wait. Sign language?
Basic sign language, like potty and stuff. Certain, what are those called? Fruits. He does know them, but he doesn't really use them because he doesn't like fruit. And he doesn't ever tell me he has to go to the bathroom. He would just rather pee on himself and then cry about it later.
That sounds like a child thing to do. Okay, so let's see what Google says. The ability. Coos and caws at 5 months, 6 months to 11 months, no to ba ba ba. 12 months to a year, knowing
it says that they answer simple questions non-verbally. He don't even be doing that shit.
What do you mean? Like he doesn't shake his head no, or
no? He doesn't say no. He doesn't say yes. He don't say none of that. Oh my god.
Maybe he's just stoic. Maybe he's just like these people don't deserve an answer.
I'm hoping that's what it is and not stupidity. Like, I'm sorry, that's my own kid.
So you're like, oh god, I hope he didn't take after me, please, Jesus Christ.
Oh yes, I've told Victor that. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not the smartest person in the world. I'm not. Okay.
See, but knowing that you're not the smartest person in the world makes you a lot smarter than half of the people in the world.
Definitely, my sister's dating somebody who cannot admit that to himself, for sure.
Right. So about 18 months is what, like a year and some change, and then they know 50 words, or supposed to know about 50 words, but are mostly unclear. Can ask for common food by name. Can say moo, such as for milk.
Man, he don't say none of that.
How old is he?
3. He just turned 3.
3. So by 3, they should be able to pronounce me, you, her, big, happy, complete 3-word sentences, say you and I. So maybe he's a little behind, but that's not a big deal.
He's very behind.
It's not a big deal. Trust me.
It's not. I'm hoping him just being around more kids will help that.
Oh yeah, he's gonna come back saying like, "What's up, mom?
Oh, he's
What's
gonna
cracking?"
have cuss words. We are a cussing family, unfortunately. I try so hard, but no. My vocabulary is just too decorated.
So how was it dropping off your kid? Like, cause I vaguely remember me getting dropped off as a kid to like what, the first day of elementary school.
It wasn't so bad. I still had to like finish like the paperwork and stuff. So I left the classroom like as soon as I got there, and he saw that, and I heard him like screaming down the hallway. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. Like, mother, why are you leaving me?
Yeah, that's definitely, oh man, he was so mad. But
the betrayal in his face.
I was trying to peek through the little window. They got like the little windows right there. And
he's just reaching out to you like, no, mother.
Nah, he was probably like, you fucking bitch. I tried.
You're going to pick him up, but he's just going to not.
He's just going to give me a look like.
You left me with strangers, mother.
Traitor.
They tried teaching me things.
Right? Oh my God, no. When I walked past, she was like, Thor, I could hear her. She's like, Thor, we need your attention. Come on, come pay attention over here. I'm like, you ain't gonna get that.
She's slowly figuring out a plan how to escape.
Oh God, don't tell me. They don't have places fenced in and shit around there. Oh my God. Hey, I'm sorry, but we lost your kid. Like, what?
Okay, so funny story, right? When I was in 3rd grade, I had to take the bus to and from school, right? Mm-hmm. I'm a horrible child. Like my older sister, I'm pretty sure she took a different bus, or she was already at the grade where she was going to another school. Mm-hmm. So I had to take the bus alone at some point. So I'd have to be up by what, 7:30, be dressed, get my stuff ready, be outside by like 7:50.
Yeah.
So by the time the bus came, picked us up, we would get to school by like 8:30, 8:45 or some shit. So I would always be late, and my mom would beat the fuck out of me in the morning. Like, get up, get ready, get your shit. What are you doing? You're gonna miss the bus. And I'm like half asleep. What? Okay, mom. Yeah, okay, 5 more minutes. And on one of those, I specifically remember I woke up early. I did everything on time, got to school on time. But because I woke up and stayed early, I stayed sleepy the entire day.
Oh.
So I was like, not a big deal. I'll take a nap on the bus home. So the bus goes through all the stops, right? And then I'm like, I'm just going to rest my head on the window. Not a big deal. When my stop comes, I'll feel the stop. I'll open my eyes and I'll go home. I wake up laying on the bus seat.
Yeah.
To the bus driver going, hey kid, where's your stop? We're at the bus station.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, huh? What? It was what? I want to say it was 5 p.m.
Oh, you were in trouble.
I woke up and then I realized, I'm like, I missed my stop. Oh my God, I missed my stop. Then I look out the window and it's just the bus yard.
Oh my God. That person did not check no seats after the last stop.
So he has to do a mandatory seat check when he needs to clock out. So make sure no dumbass kids fell asleep in the bus. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm dead, bro. You could just like, can you adopt me?
Just leave me here, maybe. She won't find me here.
Because I guarantee at like what, 3, I'm supposed to be home. 3:15, my mom got off of work and she should have been home by like 4 something. Oh, yeah. And then I'm not home. So I guarantee my mom went back to the school, drove down to the school, murdered some teachers and some people.
For sure. It was their fault until it was your fault.
Yeah. So she went through the chain of command, like principal, like teachers, last person who saw me, friends, and then like the bus dispatch people. They're like, oh yeah, he's here, come pick him up. So when I found out that she's on her way and she was at my school like murdering people, I was like, oh, you could just kill me, man. Like, I'm not gonna survive this.
That's never. I remember I've fallen asleep on the bus. I used to take it when I was in like all through elementary school and then like middle school too. But I only fell asleep on the bus once, and I just remember waking up in a pool of my drool, and some kid had stolen my Coca-Cola sweater, and it was my bus stop. So
oh no!
I'll never forget. I had this fucking awesome ass C on it. I was so fucking mad. I was like, hey, that kid has my sweater at my bus stop, and the bus driver was like, that's not your sweater.
Oh no!
And I had to get off the bus without my sweater. To this day, I'm devastated about that.
There's probably some kid who's still wearing that sweater as a grown ass adult.
If he sees this and he remembers it, fuck you. Fuck
hey
you.
man, fuck you, okay? You fucking asshole.
That was my favorite sweater. It won't fit me no more, but it could fit my son. It was unisex, okay?
It was the unisex sweaters.
It was just
from
like
Coca-Cola.
a cream color with red on it. It was totally unisex. It's like Mr. Rogers' glory days for sure. It's awesome.
See, but hopefully his first day isn't that bad. There's no way he's gonna fall asleep on the bus like my dumbass did.
No,
you're not gonna get a phone call.
He'll fall asleep and pee all over himself.
That's not okay. I think every child has pissed himself at school.
I don't remember doing that.
I think every child has done it.
My mom potty trained me before I went to preschool.
Okay, so I'm a dumbass kid and I run a podcast, so you can imagine my dumbass kid self talking to other dumbass kids in class. I made a kid piss themselves laughing in class. Oh, and it was so bad because I got blamed for it.
I would not be your friend if you did that to me. Like, we're not friends anymore.
So he tried to get up. I don't remember his name. I remember we were cracking jokes, like stupid jokes, like dumbass kid jokes. And I remember he raised his hand. He got real quiet. And he's just like, I got a teacher. And she was ignoring us because we were in the back just fucking being dumbass knuckleheads. So he just gets up and then like runs out. We didn't see him till the next day. We're like, what happened? He comes back. He's like, I don't want to talk about it. And then the teacher comes back and just blatantly says it out loud. Next time you need to go to the restroom, come tell me before you leave the class because I don't want you peeing yourself again.
Oh my God.
And of course we are like, what? So I guess during those laughs, a little splurt came out, and he was just like, he was like, oh no, squeeze.
Terrible. terrible. I don't think I ever had an accident. Like, no, it wasn't an accident, but I totally blame somebody else for it. Oh my God. Do you remember Joe Cuccia?
No, I don't actually.
Called him Joe Cucci.
Oh no, I would have remembered that
I
nickname.
loved him. Oh, he's still cool. We're still super cool. And I used to sit next to him in the 4th grade. And it was during that silent reading shit.
Oh God.
I sneezed.
You mean when I like pretended to read?
Right? I sneezed and I farted. And I remember immediately Joe was like, "That was not me." I was like, "Oh my God, Miss Rosenbrock, Joe Cucci just farted." Like, he got in so much trouble. If he watches this is going to be the first time he hears this story that I was like, yeah, I totally blamed you.
He's like, "No, it wasn't me. I swear to God."
If anybody was smart enough, though, like 5 seconds later, I raised my hand to go to the bathroom. Just put 2 and 2 together. It was totally me.
Oh, that's so funny.
She made him say, "Excuse me," and he had to go sit in the corner. Just so mean.
He's probably just like, he probably repressed that, and he's probably gonna watch this and be like, "Oh my God, I haven't thought of that in 20 years."
Oh my, yeah, that was 4th grade. Yeah, that was terrible. That was such a bad person. That was mean. I should have just, yeah, it was me.
Hey man, embarrassment's a bitch when you're a kid. Like, you avoid it like the plague. Like, if you can avoid embarrassment, it like you will. Like, if
it just finds you anyways.
Yeah, but as a kid, you don't want it like at all. Like, as an adult, okay, you're embarrassed. Oh well.
Like, fuck it.
Yeah, like legit.
I feel like I started feeling that in high school. Like, we started like pantsing each other in high school and shit. And I remember the first time somebody took all my stuff down, like my underwear and everything.
Oh, that sucks.
And I was in the fucking gym too. I was like, fuck. And I just remember standing there like,
like, God damn it.
Everybody sees it. Oh well. Nobody saw it though.
Yeah, see, but that happened all the time, so nobody would go and just stare.
Yeah, nobody. It was me, I think Elaine, and Leslie Pascal. Leslie was the one who pantsed me.
See, but that shit wouldn't, I don't know if that goes down anymore. Does it? Have you heard
if it does, I feel like you get in a lot of trouble now.
Yeah, because that's what, sexual assault?
That is, would that be considered? Yeah, I guess so. That would technically, yeah, for sure. I mean, you're forcefully taking somebody's pants off, yeah.
Yeah, that's sexual assault, right? But back then it was just like the PE teachers would be like, "Okay, guys, stop.
Don't do that again."
Yeah, they would literally not like, what was it, Mr. What was his name? I can't remember the gym teacher's name. Mr. Abel or?
Oh, that's middle school. Mr. Abel's middle school. That's all there, yeah.
Well, that's where it happened a lot.
Oh, you might be thinking of Strike Kula from.
Oh,
AB,
yeah. They didn't care.
He didn't give 2 shits.
He didn't care
cool,
at all.
super laid back, but he did not care.
He would just like, if you were a dude that did it to another dude, he'd be like, "Really?
Mm-hmm.
Really?"
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And like, if he saw you do it to another girl, he's like, "If I see that again."
Yeah, he'd get a little stern for the females.
Yeah, he's like, "If I see that again, you're going to the teacher," and that's it.
He was chill. I liked having him. I had him for summer school.
See, I don't know how high school is going to be for your child.
Right? It's going to be so terrible. I already know it.
Like,
it's just like full of, he's growing up in like cancel culture and like everybody.
People don't have a
everybody.
sense of humor anymore. It's scary.
Oh yeah. And
okay, I'm gonna tell you a conversation that I had with one of my gay friends, right? Because I don't know if you remember, we used to say gay as like,
you're
some
gay.
like, yeah, you're gay. Stop being gay. Like, not we would mean it as not cool or lame or something that sucked, because it used to mean happy, right? Then it meant like homosexual, and then it to us it meant something like not cool.
Mm-hmm.
So your guy friends, mainly your guy friends, or I don't know if girls said it too, but I would assume so. They'd be like, "Hey bro, are you coming to the party later?" Be like, "Nah, I'm not going." "Oh, you're gay." Right?
Yeah.
So we're having this conversation and I'm like, "Hey, you're being really gay." And she laughs and she was like, "Oh, I get it." I was like, "Quick question. I know what I mean when I say you're gay, but what do you mean when you tell me that I'm gay?"
Right? Is it like a double standard when yeah, that's a pretty good question actually.
And she's like, "Well, it like, I say it because I'm cracking a joke and you know I'm cracking a joke.
Yeah.
But when you tell me that I'm gay, like, what are your intentions? Like, what do you mean?"
Yeah, right?
Because you're actually gay and you're a little bit younger than me. So maybe you've never gone through that time span where that word was used.
Like for different things.
Yeah. And she was just like, "Oh, no, I mean, you're being lame. I was like, so it is. So it does mean that. She's like, no, it means like it's in how you say it and how, like when you use it. I was like, okay, so you're telling me right now in a specific scenario, there's a group of gay people who will be like, oh my God, you're being so gay. And be like, wait, what do you
wonder.
Right? Like what, like, do you instantly know? And she's like, yeah. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I guess it's just totally in the way you say it then.
Because I stopped using it.
Yeah.
To
oh my God, I got corrected. Oh Lord.
To duck those conversations.
Me and Victor got corrected for somebody's gender the other day. That was the first time ever.
Really?
Yes.
How'd that go down?
She was very nice about it. Thank fucking baby Jesus. I've seen the "it's ma'am" fucking video.
It's a deep answer. It's a ma'am, sir.
And
ma'am.
If that particular female had said it to me that way, it might have went different. But me and Victor are talking to her at Target, and Victor just keeps like, bro, like we're just talking. He's just saying bro.
Yeah, that falls in our vocabulary a lot.
Right. So then the girl goes, oh, I identify as a woman.
Okay.
And Victor just stopped, and I was like, oh, thanks, that's fine, sorry. And Victor's just staring like,
the only reason that's hilarious to me is because I know Victor, and the people who have never seen your husband, he's a big man.
Yeah, he's huge.
He's like, if anyone's ever seen the TV show Vikings, he's like a Bjorn.
I've been trying to get him to be an extra on that fucking show.
He could do it.
I know he can.
He could fucking do it all day
huge.
long.
Oh yeah.
He's what, like 6'2"?
Yeah, he's about 6'2", yeah.
6'2", like 280, 270, 3 something.
He's in probably mid threes.
320, some high threes. Okay.
High threes.
He's a big boy.
He's a big, and that's a lot of muscle. He's back in the gym and shit right now. So.
Yeah. So him being just like shut down.
it was just the look on his face was like, oh.
That must have been gold. I would have loved to see that.
And then like 5 seconds later, she's looking at my son, and Victor's like, oh, here you go, Thor. And that's a boy. I'm like, oh, so I can't assume your gender, but you just assume my kids. Like,
you're just like, God damn it.
It was terrible. I felt so bad. I knew
it's
biologically this person was born a man, obviously.
Right.
So that was my first time. Like, now I'm afraid.
It's okay. So it takes some used to, right? Because slowly but surely, I started getting more and more people who were in not my immediate friends group, but like my extended friends group who either came out gay or started transitioning.
Yeah.
And then like the more open this movement started to become, the more I had to be like, oh, you didn't ever say anything to them. You just started seeing them wear makeup and lipstick and then a wig. And you're like, okay, he's a cross-dresser. That's cool. Right? Like, more power to you. And then you started seeing their facial features change. And you're like, oh, this is serious. Like, it's like a full-blown change. So then they'll send like a message. You haven't really talked to them. It's just be like a Facebook message. Hey, my name is such and such now. I am a her. And you're like, okay, cool. Yeah. And out of politeness, you don't really ask questions.
I want to though. Like I have a cousin who is transitioning, and he goes by Andy now.
Okay.
But I'm not really close to him. So, but I want to ask, like, what made you do this? Like, is it? I don't understand it, and I just want to understand it because that's between you and God. I'm not gonna judge you for it.
Right.
I just want to know what's going on. Like, what did like? I mean, you just woke up and feel like you're a different person on the inside, so you just change it on the outside. Like, how does that work exactly? Like,
okay, so the few people who are willing to talk to me about it without getting confrontational, because there's been a few times I've asked questions and the conversation turned into an argument.
Oh yeah, see, I'm not trying to argue with nobody either.
Right, because you don't learn anything that way. You need to be able to have a conversation, ask your serious questions, and get serious answers back without being judged for asking. Yeah. Right. So spoke with this person. I was like, hey, so why did you start your transition? She's like, well, I didn't feel comfortable being a woman. Like, it sucks being a woman. I was like, okay, I can see that. Yeah, I could definitely see that. And she's like, it's easier for men. I was like, that's debatable, but I can understand that. And she's like, well, I also don't like being helpless. I was like, okay, that's also, I can see that.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm attracted to both sexes. I was like, okay. So your logical conclusion was to become a man. And she said yes, because it would be easier for her to do the things that she wants to do as a man, and she would feel more comfortable sexually as a man.
I just don't see. I just, it's maybe because I'm just not trans, so I don't understand it to that extent.
It's different for everybody, right? So because she stopped her transition, like midway.
That's gotta be rough then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she had the facial hair. She lost a lot of weight. She put on a lot of muscle and started looking like a male.
Yeah.
Stopped the hormones, and then body kept making estrogen and started pulling it back.
That's crazy, dude. That's crazy how our bodies work, though. Like,
yeah. So the weird part is that you keep some of that. So she still gets facial hair, but not as much as she used to. And like other miscellaneous things continued. And I asked her, I'm like, so why'd you stop? And she's like, I didn't like the place I was at the time. I was like, okay. I was like, well, at least you didn't do anything that couldn't be changed.
Yeah, that's pretty,
Because once you go to a certain line, it's like, there's no coming back. Oh, well, maybe there is. I don't know.
No, there's not. Have you seen the surgery? I looked it up.
Well,
I've been trying to understand this. Like, I don't want to judge nobody for this. So, and it's just very taboo to me because
right.
I think the most taboo thing we had was just a regular gay person, I guess you could say.
That is so weird, right?
I'm not even sure that's the right term.
Like, it was like, what? I guess out of the borders of conversation at the time. Right? Like most people would be like, okay, well, I'm pretty sure he's gay or she's gay. But no one's going to ask until they're like with somebody or like you're blatantly seeing something.
How much is ass?
Well, if they're your friend, right? Because we all had a couple friends in high school that were like,
you gay, huh?
You know you're gay. Like, you could just say it, bro. Like, I'm not gay. You're like, okay.
If there was anybody in high school that just totally kept it from, I feel like by the time I got to high, I won't say her name because she's married now and she has kids. But I do remember one of my close friends being gay for a while. And then I was like, okay, that's kind of weird, but whatever, that's your thing. And now she's got kids. So I'm like, what happens when you do that? Like, what?
I don't know. I think it's just like, I can't even say that because then I'm just speculating because I'm not too sure. So maybe it's just
a gay thing.
A thing. Well, maybe it's like, okay, so maybe to them it's like they really don't care, right? If it's boy or girl, as long as they get what they need out of the relationship. Oh yeah,
what's that called? That's pansexual,
right? So it could be that, and then they're just like, at the time we didn't have the terminology, so we're just like, oh, you're just gay.
That's bi.
I don't think that exists anymore, does it?
When I was younger and people were like, oh, I like boys and girls, I was like, what? But as an adult, I kind of understand that a little bit more because I can appreciate anatomies differently now as an adult. Yeah. But as a kid, I was like, that's
so weird. You're strange.
Confused. Relax.
Because for as a adolescent, you're just trying to get the opposite sex attention. Like, how much harder is it to get both sexes attention?
Imagine. Oh God.
Like, no.
That's why I don't understand why people think being gay is a choice.
Yeah, it's not easy.
It's not easy. Hell no, nobody would want that.
No, that's extra work. I can barely talk to women and try to talk to dudes. Oh my God. No, that's
I can't pick up dudes. I suck. I wouldn't know what I would do if I just suddenly became single.
It happens to a lot of people now.
I wouldn't know what to do.
Okay, so what the divorce rate is like stupid high. It's like 90 or 80%.
I think we're just bored.
It's that high, right? So there's people who've been married for like, let's say 5 years is the average, and then they get a divorce. 5 years of like one person and then back to Tinder.
Oh, no, I don't, I haven't been single in, let's see.
Oh man, the game has changed. Let me tell you, Anishka.
I haven't been single for almost 20 fucking years.
Let me tell you, the game has changed.
No. I'm glad I'm not in it no more.
Okay, so you have dating apps, right? I'm pretty sure you heard of Tinder.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you heard of like what is it?
Black
Bumble.
People Meet and Bumble.
Yeah.
Fish.
Oh my gosh. There's like a dating app for if you're a specific group of people or you're into a specific group of people. There's a dating website or app for you.
I believe it.
The only problem is 90% of the people on there are guys.
My dad and my mom started dating because they're not together anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I get to see like,
oh my gosh,
it's the older spectrum, but I do see it.
Oh
like,
my gosh.
People are just, my dad's talking to like younger females. They're like closer to my age.
Hey, good for him.
No, I get so mad. But people are just so, they're either really vulgar, like sexually, or really vulgar in what they're looking for as far as like getting married and stuff.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like they're just really like in that age bracket, in my mom and dad's age bracket, they're just like, it's one or the other.
Like
and it's
sex
very aggressive.
or like fucking
marriage
career.
and shit, yeah. And it's one or the other, and they're just extremely aggressive.
You know what
about
I think that is? Time. They don't have time.
That's what my dad thinks too.
They don't have time to waste. If they're 40 plus, it's like, hey, I want kids, I want marriage, and I want this to last forever. If you can't handle that, if you don't like my personality, goodbye.
Dating online's got to be so weird though.
It is, because all right, so the majority of it is like, one, you have to be attracted to them, right? So you start swiping or clicking or whatever to something that you like, something that like you physically are attracted to.
Yeah.
And then they got to match you back. So they have to say that you're also attractive.
Okay.
So now you have a comment like, okay, I think you're hot. You think I'm hot. All right, whatever.
Yeah.
So then you got to shoot a message. Usually the guy does, because it's rare for a girl to hit up a guy that they match with.
Yeah.
So you have to have a script basically.
Yeah.
Unlike,
right?
so like, okay, you can't always go, hey, to every single profile.
I would totally be like that.
You won't get responses, right? So that I tried that. I tried doing it like the hey, and then have a small conversation from the hey and build there.
Just
Didn't work.
slide on in.
Did not work. They're like, hey, that's the best you're gonna tell me. I'm not gonna respond.
So standards are a little high with conversation.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like some profiles will even say like, shoot your best pickup line. I'm like, pickup lines? I don't got pickup lines. I got jokes. I got fucking jokes, and I got memes. That's it. I'm like, my pickup lines are jokes.
Like, in my head, I'm like, what is a pickup line? I couldn't come up with a pickup line either. Like, I wouldn't execute it. Doesn't matter what it is. I wouldn't execute it.
Right.
Correctly.
And then you try, of course, because you're like, fuck, this might be my only chance for happiness.
Right.
So you shoot your best pickup line, and then you wait, and they never respond, or they respond 6 months later.
Oh my God. That would be me. That's why I can't date online. It takes me a million years to message people back.
Oh, and then you'll forget. All right, so let's say you get a conversation going, you do the small talk, like, hey, how are you doing? I'm good. How are you doing? Oh, what are you doing? I'm at work. What are you doing? I'm also at work.
My mom says those are conversations that keep you warm.
Oh,
Like you stay in their back pocket when they just do dumb talking. Doesn't have nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
Like, that's probably true.
Yeah, it's yeah, because they could be asking philosophical questions, or they could be asking like much deeper questions, but they're choosing not to, right? So eventually you start asking, it goes one of two ways. You get into serious personality, like, okay, like, so what do you do for fun? What are your goals or aspirations? And like, what are your, like, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? You're basically giving them an application for a relationship.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, they'll stop talking.
That's crazy. Like my mom, she talks to a few people on there. Like, I'm not sure what site she uses. But she just, it's a lot of dudes. It's a lot of dudes, like you said. And they're really aggressive. Like, if I were her, I would have gave up.
So the other spectrum of that is dudes getting straight to the point, being like, hey, how are you doing? Hi, how are you doing? Want to fuck? No.
That's like so, like, no, because you know what? When we were younger, we go to the club. It would just be at the club instead of online.
Yeah, but at least you got to like meet the person. Yeah, also get drunk, free drinks, right? Like online is sketchy as fuck because catfishing is a thing now.
It's like, I feel like it's always been a thing, especially when we were like younger when it first came out. I remember the first time I logged into AOL. I wish I could forget this. I'll never forget it. I logged in, fucking dial-up shit. And the AOL home screen was there. And then out of nowhere, some dude, John Freeb 134 messaged me.
And you're like, who is this stranger?
Right? And he was like, hey, are you a girl? Want to send some nudes? I had never heard the word nudes. So I was like sounding it out. I'm like, what the fuck? What's a nudes? Like,
then you like type it into AOL search bar, nudes. Oh my God.
It was terrible. I remember like a couple weeks after that, I never messaged the person. I was like, I don't want to get in trouble. So I just exited the thing. And then a couple weeks later, I tell my dad, I said, Dad, what are nudes? And
Oh my God.
Don't talk about that. Don't talk about that. I was like, oh, okay, well, never mind. So then we're all in the back of the car during this time. And my friend says, you don't know what nudes are? And I was like, no. My older sister's like, well, do you know what a boner is? And I was like, no.
No, why would I know any of this?
And her and my friend was a little bit older, and they start giggling and they're like, ask Dad. So,
oh my gosh.
Right? So I fucking asked my dad. I was like, in the car right after that, I was like, Dad, what is a boner? And he's like, where are you getting these words?
They're telling them to be father.
Terrible. It was so, he was so mad. I feel like now that I have a kid, the look on my dad's face was for sure the look, fuck the internet.
Oh, but it's so much worse now.
Oh, I believe it. Oh,
so
man.
much worse now.
I saw that little Nas X video.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I don't blame Lil Nas, I guess. The music industry's always been that
That's
bad.
a good ass song though.
It is. It is a good song. It is a good song. I'm not gonna lie. But I know for a fact that the music industry's always been very sexualized. And and okay, so on their benefit, right? They did most of the music that is bad for kids says that it's bad for kids.
Oh yeah.
Right? But we have zero control now over what you can have your kid filter. Yeah, because
so bad.
At a certain age, they know how to turn on and off filters, and unless you are full blown into it and go ahead and set a password for the search bar, and then there you go. So all those parents who are just like, here's a tablet, shut the fuck up, don't talk to me for 6 hours. I see it all the time.
Yeah, I see it too.
And you're just like, so you're just going to give this child a full-blown tablet to the full access to the internet.
To the entire world in their hands.
I'm like, I had dial-up and I was watching people getting murdered in Afghanistan.
Right? Oh my God.
I'm like, I don't know what you're doing. What are you doing, boy? Like, you don't even know. Like, this 11-year-old is going to go, well, Dad's not looking.
Type in some crazy ass shit.
Boobs. Oh my God.
I remember, that's what we did. And so I can't imagine what, like, I remember the first thing I searched was the word sexy.
Because you're like, what is categorized under some of these words?
Right. And I just remember it was like a bunch of different things. So I'm imagining kids' vocabularies at my age now.
Oh, man. No.
Ain't gonna be sexy.
No.
It's gonna be like cock or something.
It's so much worse. Okay, but so I'm assuming that the baseline is now what our bad is then. So do you remember like the 2 Girls 1 Cup and the guy who sat on that jar?
Do you remember Rodrigo?
Yes.
He had a fucking watch party.
Oh no.
And
what he put on?
He put that on the big ass projector. That was the first time I watched it.
Which one?
The
2 Girls 1 Cup. Oh my.
Hatchet versus something. That one was so disgusting.
No.
And one more, and I think it was the glass jar.
It
was terrible, man. I can't imagine what's on the internet now.
Probably worse things.
I'm not even sure how that could be worse, though.
It can get worse.
I don't want to know.
Oh, it can get worse. I'm pretty sure. And that's just the videos that I can remember. There was times where it'd be like a Saturday night and you're on MySpace and you're watching YouTube videos and you're watching dumb shit. And then like you see, I don't know, a conspiracy video. And then that conspiracy video leads to like some dude who was found dead fucking a horse. And you're like, what? Is that a real thing? And then you type it into your search bar. And then you see the explicit version. And then under that, there's another fucking weird thing. Right? You're like, 6 hours later, you're fucking traumatized for life.
In a rabbit hole.
For life. Like, what was it? Rotten.com? Was it Live Leaks?
It was terrible, dude. I used to play on a site called stickdeath.com.
What?
Do you remember it? No. Oh my God. Oh.
Wait. Was it the little stick characters that would like die in a weird way?
In fucked up ways.
Yeah.
There was a few. There was like a murderous stick one that had like stringy hair.
Well, we also had Happy Tree Friends.
My little sister got me into that shit. I was like, what the fuck are you? She's like 10 years younger than me. How the fuck are you finding this?
You're like, what is this?
That shit was.
And it's so cute for the first 10 minutes.
10 seconds probably. That was wow. I remember. I think it was on Netflix that she showed it to me.
It's on Netflix now?
It was. I don't think it is anymore, but that's where I first saw it. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, I don't know if it's on there anymore.
I'm gonna check.
I'm hoping that it's not, because if my son sees it, he'd be like, oh yeah, let's watch those. He's such a crybaby. He's not gonna be spooky like me.
He's not gonna be spooky.
He's not. He prefers like Godzilla and Kong and stuff, and I would much rather watch Chucky murder somebody.
That's fine.
No, it's awesome.
It's on
totally
Google
awesome.
Play. Oh, it is on Netflix.
Oh my god, it's on Netflix.
It's on fucking Netflix. Hey, good for you, Netflix. You guys got some taste.
Those
are classics.
No way, man.
2006 was like the television debut of. Yeah, first episode was 2006, September 25th, 2006.
That's about right. I was 16. Yeah, that's about right. That was terrible. I just remember she showed it to me and I was like, my little sister's fucking weird.
So that's the bar now, then, right?
Yeah.
What is it now? Because that's mainstream Netflix.
We would have to
go find that somewhere, right? I don't even remember where I saw it. I just remember someone sending it to me. I think it was on YouTube.
You know, I don't think kids are like into stuff like this anymore, though. I saw this fucking TikTok thing that's going around where they're putting fake chicken hands on doors and they look like so fucking stupid. And it's funny, but I can't imagine.
It's more innocent, I guess.
Yeah, it feels like some of their pranks, some, not all, are a lot more innocent than ours.
But they're also eating Tide Pods.
That's innocent. That's stupidity. They didn't ask to be that stupid.
Well, our generation raised them. What are you talking?
I'm trying to think.
Is it our fault?
Did we do anything?
Was it
like
the Happy
that?
Tree Friends that led to the Tide Pod thing? Like, is that what's going on?
No, we didn't do. We just fucking like went a whole.
Because we're pretty rational, right? Like, because we see this, like we see this, and we're like, okay, yeah, let's not fall into some weird machinery that this hamster fell into. And then our kids are fucking eating Tide Pods. Like, how's that work?
To be fair, I ate dog food when I was a kid. I tried dog food once. I'm not gonna lie.
Because you're like, does this taste good?
So maybe because we didn't have Tide Pods when we were kids.
Okay, that's fair.
So maybe because it does look like candy, it does.
It's called a treat, right? So you're like, well, it must be good.
Treat, right? It was, but we didn't have Tide Pods, so I'm wondering if we did, would we?
We were a bunch of dumbasses when we were kids too, so I don't know if it's just the age thing or if it's just like a generational thing. Because some of the shit they're doing,
maybe it's a little bit of both. I think it's a little bit of both because I don't know. I don't feel 31 until I'm around somebody that's like a solid 10 or 15 years younger than me.
Yeah, that's fair. But I also try not to be around people who are 10.
Well, I have my fucking kid now, so oh my god, I have to hang out with other people's kids and other parents.
Oh, dude, I've been avoiding that for years.
Don't have a kid. Otherwise, you won't be able to avoid it. All the fucking the parents fucking conjugate at the fucking daycare. I'm like, I don't want to talk to none of you.
I already told you. It's have one child, raise them for like 10, 15 years, and then die. That's it. That's the plan.
No, I want to see my kid get old. I do. And then I want him to take care of me because I won't do shit.
Nope. I'm surprised I made it to 31.
I think you're a lot more. COVID might have helped you.
What do you mean? How?
It just made you sit at home and be idle.
I'm an extrovert. This is murder.
Yeah,
this was horrible.
COVID's keeping you in line, making sure you're not fucking around.
Oh man, it's so bad. Like, okay, the hoe in me was like, I need to go out.
I love this.
I was dying.
I mean, I have my moments where I'm like, I fucking hate that I can't do certain things because I do like to go out. But for the most part, I'm like, you know what? Sitting at home and writing with coffee all day is what I want to do anyway.
I enjoy going out. Like, that's why I even started up this YouTube. Like, right here, I went out to go to a 50s themed, I guess, anime event. That's so cool, it was a 20s themed. I'm sorry. It was a roaring 20s themed event. And it was like, did you ever watch Cowboy Bebop?
I have not watched Cowboy Bebop in years.
So one of the main voice actors actually Skyped us via whatever.
That's cool.
Yeah, and he was drinking whiskey or whatever, and I'm like, oh my god, you're the voice of Tom. You're the voice of this guy.
That's pretty dope.
And we're like, oh my god. So we got to ask him questions and whatnot. But that's the kind of shit I like to do. I like to go out. I like to mingle with people. So COVID sucked.
I have just started mingling with people in what I want to mingle with, and it's just music. So and I do it mostly on Discord and stuff. It definitely makes me want to get out more.
Have you figured out Discord? Like, have you mastered it yet?
I'm only a part of one Discord group for now. So no.
I've seen my friends run a Discord, and then I started a Discord chat or
chat page channel. I'm not sure. I'd say channel maybe.
Yeah, because anyone can join. It's weird. I started a Discord, my own little personal Discord, right? So once I start doing stuff, I can have people join my Discord because that's a thing to do, right?
It is totally a thing.
So I've seen I was like, okay, cool. I have my channel page, whatever. I'm like, well, I'll start inviting people so you can just have random conversations whenever. Yeah. Then I go to other people's Discords. I'm like, whoa, you can do all of this other shit. So
much. Like they have voice channels, they have video channels. Yeah, it's pretty dope.
I was like, what is all this? This is like, it's its own little social media. I was like, it's not a chat.
I've definitely mastered Discord as somebody who's just using it versus somebody who's running the page.
Oh yeah, I went the other direction. I was like, oh, let me start a page.
It's awesome. I like it. I like for right now, it's just the James Vickery is the group I'm a part of. He's like that singer I'm super obsessed with right now.
Is he that British guy you were telling me about?
I love him so much.
Okay, I need to look this guy up because I remember you told me about him. I didn't get a chance to look him up.
His music is amazing, but I'm only a part of his group, and everybody in there is just really wholesome, and we're not allowed to like cuss, and we just share memes.
You're not allowed to cuss. Is it this boy right here?
Yeah,
that's
the video that launched him actually.
Okay, so we'll get a little snippet of after this ad. Well, I don't know how much audio I can pull from it. I say let's do like 5 seconds.
And that's all you're gonna need for the first.
Is it like where's the best part? Beginning, middle, end?
The beginning of this song is really good actually.
Yeah.
Because he hits a certain note.
All right, here we go. 1, 2.
Oh, we missed the note.
Oh, really? Goddamn, that was it. Okay, let's try that again. Ready and go. Okay.
I love him.
Oh, he's so soft. Okay, I'll definitely take a listen to this later.
Yeah, it's totally.
He's very smooth.
He's R&B. He's definitely the next GOAT for sure.
Really?
Big time.
Don't
sleep on him, man.
That is a big.
He just did a song with Music Soul Child. Oh my god, it sounds like Bee Gees kind of.
Music Soul Child. Let's find out.
He's like.
See, I love you, Anishka, because you have great taste in music.
I have amazing taste in music.
I fell off on the music stuff. You know why? Because music got garbage for me in a lot of ways.
I don't listen to a lot of like outside of like James Vickery, maybe Masego or like her. I don't really listen to too many mainstream artists. And if I do, I don't listen to their mainstream songs because it's just so like, it's so different. R&B is not what it used to be. That's for sure.
Almost all music is different from when we remember it, but that's true for every generation, right?
Rap is trash. Like there's a few that
I wasn't gonna say it, but since you already said it,
like,
I agree.
Some of it's not so bad. Like Lil Nas X's new music video, haven't watched it. The song's awesome though. I really like that song. Would I classify it as rap? I don't know.
I would say pop.
Yeah, it's probably pop. That's pop.
But I think he's not even rap. I think he's a rock star.
Yeah, I could totally put him in rock star. I could. Because
I think he classified himself as like at the beginning he was supposed to be rap, but then he classified himself under a country singer, right?
For that one song, yeah, I could see that, yeah.
And then he made another song, and then he's like, no, this is metal, or this is like rock.
Rock, yeah.
I'm like,
maybe we can just put him in like indie or something.
Maybe, but I didn't. Usually, if you're an artist, you get thrown into a genre and you kind of like sit there.
I don't understand though, because like I watched the Grammys like a couple years back and Billie Eilish was like, I classify myself as a rap artist, not a pop artist. I'm like, you're not a rap artist.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've heard it. Well, I guess it's subjective, right? Because all right, who's really setting up these labels?
I feel like it's just I feel like you just have to throw a label on yourself, like
just to get in.
Yeah, like Billie Eilish could do a rap song, but I don't classify her as a rapper. Like,
no, I don't see that either. But I can totally see her doing like a song with like Nicki Minaj or like any other prominent person.
If for some reason Billie Eilish watches this, don't fucking do a song.
Do it. Do it.
Stay humble. We love you.
Nah, do it.
No, I don't want. She's already too mainstream. I don't know. I'll be sad if James Vickery goes mainstream.
Really?
Oh, I'll be so sad. I don't want to share him. A lot of the people in the group don't want to share him.
Really?
I don't want to share him.
So what What drew you? Like, how'd you find this guy? Like, what happened?
Okay, so I listen to like a bunch of like scores and shit when I write.
Mhm.
And one day I was like trying to write. My biggest challenge is probably like really lovey-dovey things.
Oh,
I'm a
like emotional.
yeah, I'm a pretty stoic person when it comes to like love things. And
Right.
I don't mean to be, but this is how I am. So I struggle with writing that. And I was like, okay, I have to switch up my music because scores are not going to help me do that.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, it wasn't happening. So one day I don't know, I just typed something in. I don't even think it was him. I just typed something in. And then I came across the colors video that you showed first. And I was right there.
You're like, oh, this
I
is
was
it.
done.
This
I
is
was
it.
done. I was
It's
hooked.
just inspiration.
100%. I ended up having his song Something Good being the song I danced to with Victor at the wedding.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, that must have been so sweet.
I was this close
to crying.
No. I told Victor if he didn't cry, I was gonna beat his ass.
Oh shit. That's tall order.
I was so close to getting James Vickery to perform at our wedding.
What happened?
COVID.
Oh, no way.
Yes, I was so mad. Victor reached out to him. He was like, yeah, I'll do it. Let's do it. Let's get it going. Let us know the date. And then COVID happened. I was like,
oh no. Did he at least give you like an IOU for like an anniversary, or like did he reach back and be like, hey, anytime you guys really need it? Like, no. No, really?
nah. No, it doesn't bother me though, because I do like we have like Zoom chats with him all the time and stuff. So that's enough. That's fine.
How much was he gonna charge you?
He wasn't going to.
Really? That's so fucking awesome.
He's such a like low grade artist right now. He was like, and one day somebody asked him if he would charge for like meet and greets. He was like, fuck no, just come down, like say hi, like you guys already paid to watch the show. Like I hope you stay that way.
Is he local? Is he a local cat? LA?
He's in UK.
He's in the UK.
Yeah.
Dang. So he was gonna fly out here?
He was gonna fly. He was already out here, like in the States, doing a little baby tour right before COVID hit. And he was like, "Yeah, well, let's get it going." And then that was at like the beginning of the year, and then that was like, so that's like maybe January. And then yeah, COVID came around, and we didn't even bother telling him never mind. It just didn't happen. But
well, I'm sure he already knew. Like if his tour probably shut down, he probably knew he couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah, they're still pretty strict about it too.
And I'm pretty sure his priority was getting home, because you don't want to be stuck in a different country.
He almost got stuck during his last
and then
part.
what? Most people didn't get to go home till 6 months later.
Yeah, there's a singer out here. Her name's Sinead Harnett, I think. She's also a UK singer. She's got a few songs with him too. She came out here and got stuck during COVID.
Nah, I can't do that. And then it's got to be expensive. Yeah, but if you got the money to be in a hotel for 6 months, sure, I guess.
Yeah.
But if you're like going on tour because you need the money, oh fuck no. Like
it's got to be really scary. At least everybody spoke English.
Yeah, that's true.
Imagine being stuck here and not speaking English or something. That would suck.
As long as it's like a place that you want to visit, I guess.
Okay, so what if you came out here and you only spoke like
Spanish?
No, that's too for what I'm about to ask. We'll say like
Chinese.
We'll say Chinese. You only speak Chinese. And you visit LA, and in your head in LA you're like, oh, it's the land of dreams. I can't wait. Right. And then you get there and it's trash, and then COVID happens. And then now everybody's also blaming China because of our previous commander-in-chief.
But on the bright side, there's a Chinatown in almost every city.
That's being attacked right now.
Yeah, it's true, but at least you have like if it was me and they're like, fuck all the Mexicans, which they do all the time, I could just like if I was really needed to go somewhere, I go to like Little Mexico, call it a day.
I don't have a safe haven like that.
Oh no, of course. Well, like I guess immigrants have like their own little community, but African American people have their own community as well.
Yeah, it's trash sometimes, so you know, okay? Because
what?
I'm gonna tell you why.
Wait, what? This is news to me.
I'm half, for the people watching, I'm half black and half Mexican. And when the riots broke out at A.B. Miller, I now know it was not black and Mexican. It just happened that some Mexican dude like hit some black girl or something like that.
Okay, so the story goes, from what I can remember, it was the party cruise, right? You remember party cruise?
Yeah.
It was some Latino's girlfriend cheated with one of the black guys in, I think, Top Fly.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember them.
I remember them, yeah.
And she went back to that guy. He found out about it, beat that dude's ass, or they got into it, and then the crews got involved. Problem was, when the crews got involved, I want to say the Mexicans got fucked up because it was like odd numbers.
I didn't see that fight break out like that. I mean, like, I was right there.
Oh no, because it was a lot bigger than just our school. Because it
was faux high,
and I think it went all the way to LA.
Yeah, I heard that too.
So from my understanding was that the crews got into it at a party. The Mexican people got fucked up, went back, and the crews were connected with gangs. The gangs reached out to the Mexican mafia to go give the okay on all the black people.
That's just crazy, dude.
They're like, anybody darker than this shade, African American or not.
That shit sucks, dude. I remember after everything broke out, the following week we went to school.
It was sketch because friendships were torn. You didn't know if you were safe.
I won't say her name because I fucking still love her to death. Okay. But I walked in and one of the girls I mainly hung out with was right there. Like, because, you know, when you first walked in from like, I think that was the library, you saw like, you know, the things all parted, planners on the side. It was all the Mexicans right there. And I walked straight up to her. My sister kept walking. You could tell she's black. So she just kept walking. And my friend comes up to me. She's like, hey, today's not going to be okay.
Like, you gotta.
And I was like, what do you mean today's not going to be okay? She's like, you can't sit with us today.
Yeah.
And I remember feeling like, my heart break, dude. I was like.
Because you don't know why, right? Because if you're
mixed.
not, because you're, on top of that.
So for me, I was like, why can't I do both? Like,
right.
I'm not trying to fight nobody. Like,
because you're like, well, I can't choose a side.
Right. So I remember immediately I started crying. She was like, please don't cry. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm trying to help you. And I was just like, well, it doesn't fucking feel good.
Yeah.
My sister saw me. My sister's like, come on, just hang out with us for the week or whatever. It was sad.
It was weird because it was coordinated. That's what was a trip.
That definitely, I don't know. Victor knew the person who threw the punch at the girl. Yeah, he knew him. That's why I was like, he's like, I don't know if it just happened to be right when the fucking bell rang or it really was coordinated, but he broke it down for me one day. He was like, yeah, it was not supposed to be racial. It just happened to be racial. Like, that's crazy how we just twist shit. But
I don't know, but I remember it was, do you remember Sidekicks?
Yeah, the phone, right?
Yeah. So I had a Motorola flip phone.
Yeah.
Right. So to text, you would have to like be able to hit 111-222-333 to fucking say like, hey, what's up? Right. So a text message would take you a really long ass time. Yeah. So most times you get a text message during school, it's like, me in the restroom, we're gonna smoke. Some stupid shit like that.
I wasn't cool. I never got that.
it would be some dumb shit, right? Especially during school, because if they saw you with your phone, they would take it. So usually 9 times out of 10, if it was a friend who also had texting ability, it was something crucial.
Yeah.
So I got a text message from one of my friends being like, hey, it's going down today. All the black people.
I think I remember you telling me that.
And I was like, what? So I like raised my hand. I was like, I got to go to the restroom. So I called. I went to the restroom and I called. No answer. I text back in the restroom. I was like, what do you mean? All I got was green light on all the black people.
That shit's crazy, dude.
And I was like, I text my friend back and I was like, what do you mean? Give me details.
Yeah.
Nothing. Mm-hmm. No response. I went back to class. And as I'm sitting there, I'm like processing this and they said at the bell. Like at the bell.
That shit broke out so bad at the bell.
At the bell. So I was like, okay, so when this bell rings, what's gonna happen? I didn't understand. I was still processing with this whole text message. I was like, okay. I'm like, and I'm looking in the room and I'm seeing other people like do the whole like fake look to the side while looking at your cell phone.
Yeah.
Answering text messages. I'm like, everyone in our class who was connected to either a party crew or knew someone in a party crew was getting text messages, black, Mexican, or otherwise. The teachers had no idea.
That shit's crazy.
And when the bell rang, a fight broke out in our class.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I was already outside. My fucking soda.
Oh, shit.
I don't know if you remember Kenny. He ran for like homecoming king or prom king or something like that. He was a basketball player. He had like that blowout hairstyle.
It rings a bell.
He was standing next to me and I had a Diet Coke in my hand. This was before they fucking took our sodas away.
Oh.
And I had my Diet Coke and Kenny walked up to me. He was like,
I'm gonna need that.
I'm so sorry, Anishka. And I was like, for what? And he takes it, opens it, checks it. Yep. And the next thing I know, fight breaks out, bell rings. I was like, what the fuck? That shit was crazy, dude.
Dude, it was bananas because I had friends who were black. I had friends who were Mexican.
Yeah.
And I saw them every day during lunch and I saw them in class.
Mm-hmm.
So you would, especially me, I didn't really have a clique that I would hang out every day. I would have like a rotation.
So did I.
So you would go say hi to the people at the quad, then you go see people at the art building, then you go say hi to the people at like the vending machines, and then you, by the end of that rotation, you find somewhere to sit for the rest of your lunch, eat your lunch, and then bye.
That's exactly what I did.
Right? So I had a gang of friends, and half of them were Mexican and half of them were black. And then there'd be occasions I would sit at the top flight table and just be shitting around, just like, hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah.
And then the next, what is it? Because after that whole dilemma happened, because do you remember that the riot police showed up?
Yeah, shit was bad, but that was because
People brought shit to school.
I won't say her name because I don't know if she got legal troubles. I'm still cool with her though. I just remember seeing this one female just dropping bombs on our assistant principal.
You found out who could fight that day.
I was like, I'll never forget. She beat my ass in the 8th grade. I won't say her name.
Shit.
She beat the fuck out of me in the 8th grade. And this happened our freshman year. So when everybody rushed the stage, she rushed in front of me. And one of my friends, his name was Joe. He grabbed me and he was like, "Get off the fucking stage." And
yeah,
like,
stage
I know
is
you don't want to fight. Yeah. And I was like, "I don't." So he pushes me to the side while everybody's rushing. And she grabs me. She's like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I just don't want to fight." She's like, "Don't worry. I got your fucking back." And I turned around. Next thing I know, she's gone. I turned back around for like after 2 seconds of looking a different way. And she is fucking firing on Miss Gucci Pierce. I was like, oh my God.
Because, okay, the teachers overstepped. They should have, because nowadays we have like shooting procedures, right? They lock down the classes.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what to do. I'm pretty sure they have a riot protocol now.
Oh yeah,
but
for sure AB does.
Teachers try to stop fights like they knew what was going on, but then they were getting sideswiped by other people.
Yeah, that was terrible. That was
one of the teachers got stabbed by a pencil.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
what?
And then there was another teacher who got hit. No, one of the security guards. Remember the black security guard who was really cool?
John.
Yeah.
I loved him.
I think he got hit with the trash can, those metal trash
that's
cans.
Fucked up, bro.
Yeah.
He was cool.
Yeah. So, but it's his job to break up fights.
Yeah.
So you can imagine him trying to break someone's fight up and then someone running up with a fucking metal trash can.
It was crazy, dude. Like
it was the closest thing you'll get to like a legit war inside of a school.
right? Everything. The only thing that was missing was like random fire pits and people like in like crazy armor.
That was at like towards the end of the riot. So because I got into 4 fights. And I won 3 of them because one of them I had to run away.
I only had to run away from.
I had to square up with a couple of my friends, which is weird.
That's very weird, dude.
Because you see a fight, right? You see someone you know, and you don't know the next person. They just so happen to be Mexican. You help the Mexican dude out.
Yeah.
You go over there, and then you see one of your black friends fighting a Mexican dude. You don't know the Mexican dude. You help out the black dude. Then you go out you just keep going, and then you handle it situation by situation. And on one of those, I knew 2 of the black guys, they were over there and they were fighting somebody else. So as I'm walking over there, I see him turn and throw a punch at me. I duck it. And next thing I look at him like, whoa, chill, bro. I got you. And he throws another one and I catch it. I was like, what the fuck's going on? I'm like, hey, bro, I'm good. Like, you're good. Like, we're fine.
I don't
like,
want to fight you.
like, I'm here to help. And then his friend, who I don't know, squares up with me. And I was like, okay, yeah, I got to run.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not about to fight 2 people I know and then 1 person I don't for this situation. So I ran.
Yeah, that whole day was trash, dude. I remember like
If you made it to the stage, people were buying and like emptying out trash cans to get to the Sobe bottles. I don't know if you remember back then they were glass.
they were still glass then?
They were still glass
That's
back
crazy.
then.
I never bought them from school.
Because they were so expensive.
Were they? I only
were
ever
like
got
a
Cokes.
$1.75 or like $1.50
That's trash.
when the Coke cans were like $1.
Yeah.
But Sobe, who cares?
Sobe's trash.
So they were emptying out. This is how crazy they already knew. They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna empty out the trash cans and throw glass bottles at people.
Wow.
So there was like a divide. So the Mexicans took all of the top of the stage, and then there was like a wall of black people throwing Sobe bottles. And I ran up behind that entire wall of black people, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, so I started to run to the side, and then I started seeing bottles come my way.
That shit's crazy, dude.
It was so bad because they're like, you're ducking glass bombs, and then they would crash right behind you, and you'd feel, because I was wearing shorts at the time, you'd feel like the shards smacking the legs.
Fucking water and shit.
Oh, it was so bad. And if you made it to like the dividing gate between the quad and the gym building,
yeah,
there's like that big space between like that area. I think it's like what is it, the theater room that was in between?
Yeah, it's theater. Yeah.
Yeah. So you run past the theater room and you make it into the. Oh man, the only place at that entire school was the gym.
Yeah.
I made it there, and the weightlifting coaches, everybody was holding it down. All of them, like, they were throwing kids out. Like,
Victor was saying that the football team, where they weren't trying to fight each other, they all just was like, no, let's go to the fucking gym and relax.
Yeah. So the weightlifting teachers were holding down the entire gym. Anybody who started a problem caught hands by the teachers.
That's pretty crazy.
And it was amazing.
It's understandable.
It was amazing. I was like, because you always doubted your old teachers,
yeah, like,
and you're like, oh yeah, this old retired man who used to be an ex wrestler, like, oh yeah, okay, fat fuck.
We're adults now, and now we know better.
Yeah. And he's manhandling these kids, right? Like, they would start shit and then they get manhandled and thrown out, and you're like, oh shit. And then he'd walk up to you and be like, hey, don't start shit in here, all right? And you're just like, nah, man, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
sure.
I'm avoiding whatever's out there. I'm avoiding what's out there. I remember I got a text message from one of my friends who's like, find my girlfriend. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, find my girlfriend, keep her safe. I was like, okay. Like, I'm like, where is she? And he tells me the because you know how every building was like coordinated by like letters and shit.
Yeah.
Like the art building was the A building and whatever.
Yeah.
He sent me to the English building, which was like 3 buildings up from the art building. And I remember I had to run through that entire bullshit.
Yeah, I remember, yeah.
That entire bullshit again at the stage because they were still there.
Yeah, they were there for a minute.
Oh,
dude.
they were there for a fucking, like, I want to say like 45 minutes to an hour.
It took them a while. Like, I went to class before they even dispersed. But
oh yeah, it was bad. So I made it all the way to that building, found her, dragged her, went through like a whole bunch of other more fights that I just ran from, just to get her back to the PE building. And I was like, this is bananas. And eventually by the end of it, on that way back, I was like, let me go find my friends. I know a safe spot. The gym's dope. Like, there's like anybody who wants to get away from this, go to the gym.
Yeah.
So that's what my mission was, to go find my friends. That was a dumb move because on the way out, leaving my friend's girlfriend at the gym, SWAT team showed up on the.
I had left right when they showed up.
Oh man, I wish I would have left. I caught what is it,
it was bad on the streets.
Yeah.
It was bad. When I left, we
because there was fights breaking out like at the parks down the street.
What is that street? That is it Oleander and Miller? Is that Miller? I think that's, I don't know.
Where that park is at?
It's before the park. Well, I guess it would be like around there, but the next corner over though, and it technically would be before the park.
Uh-huh.
And I remember we were leaving. My dad had picked me and my older sisters up, and we saw a group of black kids that we knew walking, and we're just watching them. And my dad gets out the car, and my dad's totally been around from like segregation days and stuff. Like, he's fucking old. So he was like, no, we're not fucking around. And he gets out of the car and he sees the 3 or 4 kids that we know, and he calls them all by name, like, come over here. And right when we did that, this Mexican kid comes around the street on his bicycle. I don't even think he fucking went to our school, dude.
Oh no, there was a lot of that.
Do you remember I think he was an assistant principal. He used to dress like a pimp.
I do. I do. I know exactly what you're talking about. I can't remember his name.
He was there. He was with them. He was
really?
walking. Yes.
What?
And the next thing I know, excluding the group of kids that we called over to us because they never saw this kid. Next thing I know, all those other kids they were with rushed this dude and just started beating his ass. And he's just there, just like basically refereeing it, making sure nobody like stabs him or something. And I'm like,
no way.
Dude, you can't. He got fired for that. I know he did. But I was like, what? Like,
there was a lot of teachers who got either reprimanded or like fired or suspended.
She quit. She was like, fuck this. I wouldn't blame her.
Well, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because we know now what teachers are doing. Like, they're actually doing a service. They're not doing it because it's a great job.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not you can't go and brag to your high school class that you're a high school teacher. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you can be like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm a high school teacher at A.B. Miller. Aren't you jealous?
Right? That'd be, I don't know. That whole time, that whole year was just really fucking weird for me mentally. Like, I had never seen racial lines like that.
Yeah, but it builds character.
Definitely. Oh.
It lets you appreciate your real friends.
I have very few. And the person who told me I couldn't hang out with her that day, we still talk, but I don't really classify us as friends anymore, and I haven't for a very long time.
That's fucked up.
It's sad. I mean, I feel like time has separated us.
Time is always a bitch, yeah.
But I won't forget that. I was like, what? We're doing this? Like,
and it's only because you're half black.
Yeah, that really sucked. And I was like, so I bet you if I spoke Spanish, it would have been a little different. Yeah.
You because what is it? You be Boricua. They'd be like, oh no, she's Puerto Rican. Oh, no, no, she's just a little bit browner than everybody
because
else.
I don't know Spanish, she's black.
Yeah. I
know food. I know certain foods because of Subway. Now.
That time was pretty crazy, but I remember so many teachers. Oh man, so many teachers didn't come to school the next day.
Like, I got lucky. All my teachers were there. I do remember all my teachers, and they were just like, they refused to like pay attention to it. They're like, no, we're still doing our fucking work. What the fuck?
I'm like, we all just had like a shock to our system that none of us are safe at school. Right? Like none of us. Like if you can handle yourself, which was a small percentage of people at the school.
Not me.
Right? You might have felt okay coming back to school. But if you're like a girl, if you were a dude who just minded his own business, who actually just went to school, like you had nothing to do with this.
My group of friends.
It sucked. And a lot of our, like my nerd friends in particular, like, dude, this is fucking crazy. We hid. Like we hid.
Oh yeah, I totally did. I went to class. I was like, fuck this. I'm not trying to hang out. I remember on my way to class, my cousin Jasmine was walking with me. She's like, I'm going to make sure you walk to your class fine. And then I'm going to come back. I was like, okay, that's fine. We're walking. And do you remember those bathrooms? They're always fucking locked by the trailers by the gym.
Oh, yeah.
A bunch of Mexican girls come out of those bathrooms. I'm like, really?
You're like, God damn it.
Right? And they start fucking yelling at us in Spanish. They start saying, where you from? And
that shit's so funny now.
I don't even know what the fuck where you from means, just so we're clear.
Okay, so where you from means like what you're affiliated. Like what,
I feel like it's I'm like, not gangster, I guess.
It's like where what are you affiliated with? Because there was gangs at our school, like legit gangs.
There was that ALC and fucking like shit like that.
There was the Latin Kings.
I remember them.
There was Mala Salvatrucha.
Do not remember that one.
It was a Salvadorian gang. There was also there were some party crews were connected with the Mexican mafia just through family members.
I remember hearing about that.
Yeah. So there was another Latin crew that had family members that were in the Mexican mafia, and then I want to say there were some Sureños and some Norteños at our school.
I remember hearing that. Yeah.
But they were like sparse. There was like maybe 6 or 7 of each. There wasn't like a super big gang.
Doesn't need to be.
Right? But there was just like a sprinkle here and there, and then it would cause problems within in little cliques here and there.
And I remember seeing it every now and then. I do.
And it was weird because you would have to ask dumbass questions. Be like, why can't I wear this red bandana?
Right? Like, I remember the first time somebody seriously asked me where I'm from. It was for New Year's Eve.
Oh, it's so weird.
I was with my ex at the time.
You're like, well, I live off of this corner
right?
street.
I'm not gang affiliated in any way whatsoever. And this fat girl was like, she's drunk as shit too. She's like, where the fuck are you from, bitch? And I was like,
Fontana.
I was born in Upland. Like, I don't know. And she was like, no, bitch, where the fuck you from? And I don't.
You're like,
I was like, I don't know how to answer that.
I don't know where I was born.
Right? So she
do you want to know my
friend,
birthday?
And it was the same girl who told me I couldn't hang out with her.
Oh no.
She looks at my friend. She's like, where the fuck are you from, bitch? She's like, oh, I'm from LA. She's like, see how she just fucking answered me? And I'm like, yeah, but if I tell you Upland, you're gonna beat my ass.
Probably, yeah. More than likely.
I hate that question. That question is just so. If there's no way to like, oh, it depends on how you ask it. No.
Okay, so I don't know how it is nowadays because our area used to be ghetto. Like our area used to be not a good area to live.
Still not a good area to live.
It's gotten a lot better. Like it's been gentrified a lot.
No way. Have you seen the fucking map for Fontana, the pedophile map?
I haven't seen a pedophile map.
Your street is probably
fuck.
red.
Hold the fuck on. Okay,
Fontana is as red as the devil's dick, bro.
Get the fuck out of here. Okay.
I was looking because where I live, we have 3 dots. We have a yellow one, a red one, and a purple one. The red one is the really bad one. Yellow one, I think, is like crimes like you peed in a park and got caught type shit.
Oh my god!
And then purple ain't shit. But when I fucking saw Fontana, I was like, let's just look at Fontana, and I was like, oh my god, the amount of pedophiles. A child passes between walking from home to school. It's probably every other house, if not every house.
Get the fuck out of here.
At least one person has to be registered. And this is just registry.
What?
So it could be like these people are just registered there and they don't live there type shit. That's a possibility because inmates do that. But I don't care. The amount of red, I was like, it doesn't surprise me because I know what kind of creeps live in Fontana.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
It did not surprise me completely, but I was like, that was crazy. Like, I don't want my son to go to school.
It can't be that bad.
It was pretty bad, dude.
Okay, that's kind of a lot. That's kind of high.
It was pretty bad. I couldn't, especially if I compare it to where I live, because where I live, it's a bunch of fucking old ass people that obeyed the law. It's a bunch of white people.
Okay, there's from just the Kids Live Safe website, there's 1,587 registered people in Fontana. That's actually really high.
It's very high. And considering we're in like, Fontana reminds me of something that's just really,
it's a small city.
It's condensed. Yeah.
It's a small city.
So it's like, you're not really, those 1,000 people are like probably all living right here.
What was the website used? Because I want to see this map.
I do not remember. I just remember something popped up for it and I was like, oh, let's see what, because I had just moved to Grand Terrace. An image. It was terrible. I couldn't believe it. I could not fucking believe it. Or maybe I was just like scrolling. I don't know. It was terrible though. And it definitely, you don't think about things like that until you have a kid.
Well, it used to be worse, at least from my memory. I feel like it's gotten better.
I haven't been out here, so it could have been. I've been living in Grand Terrace and Rialto for like the last 4 years.
Rialto was ghetto as fuck. Like I lived out there for a minute. And
I hate Rialto.
It's so bad. Like it's what Fontana used to be.
It reminds me of just a San Bernardino that's kind of like dead for a little bit, but gets wild out of nowhere. Like I don't like Rialto. My dad lives out there. I wish he would just not live there.
Rialto's bad. Like it's so bad. I hate it. Like that city is garbage.
Like right now we're looking for houses because we're ready to start our roots.
Don't buy Rialto or San Bernardino.
Oh no. We're thinking about buying like a mobile home. Those ones that you split and move.
I'll tell you right now, a mobile home is like the worst real estate investment you could ever make.
YOLO.
Like no, don't do it. You'll hate it.
It's only $48,000.
You will fucking hate it. Trust me, Anishka. I know. Trust me.
I used to live in one when I was a kid.
You will hate it as an adult.
Take that back. We didn't live in it. We would
you will hate it.
Like spend like weeks or weekends with my grandma, and my cousins would be there. I liked it. The only thing I didn't like was that she had a swamp cooler instead of a regular AC. But the mobile home, it's not a mobile home technically. I feel like that's just the word I'm using.
I'm telling you, you're gonna hate it.
I'm gonna love it. Let me just get my.
What do you like? If you're talking like, is it in a park? Is it like in a space with other mobile homes?
They're like, okay, so I'm under the impression, I could be wrong, but I'm under the impression a mobile home is technically something you can get up and take somewhere else.
Yeah, you can do that with all the mobile homes.
Okay, so the one we want, like the ones we're looking at, they're not these like mobile homes. They're like homes like this, but it's split down the middle and you can take it apart and move it.
Yeah, you can do that with all of them.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
No, you cannot.
Yes, you can.
Only like the new ones.
No, all of them. I promise you.
No.
So, okay.
Just the one I'm looking at.
All mobile homes are made to be moved, right? Because what happens sometimes is that, let's say, because you own the building, you don't own the land. Yeah. You rent the land.
Of course.
So you pay a monthly rent for the land, but you own the building. Let's say the market goes crazy and the landowner needs to spike up the rent 15%. 15% to you might be way too much money.
Yeah.
Right? So you can either sit there and pay the rent because that's what you have to do, or you can pick up your building and have it moved to somewhere else, because there's other mobile homes that have open spaces specifically for that. And there's a whole industry for building, moving for mobile homes.
See, I'm wondering though, the one that I'm looking at, the specific one that I'm looking at, it's got like a fucking yard and a fucking garage. I'm like, like connected to it. So I'm assuming the particular one I'm looking at isn't going to move. They don't have that.
Well, so they set them on trusses. So there's just like, so most houses have foundations, right? There's like either a basement or like a solid cement slab that everything sits to, and then you build from there. For mobile homes, it's not that way. It's like an empty space, and then you put blocks of wood that holds the building upright, and then they level it. Then they put jacks under it to like move it either which way. So at any point you can move the entire building.
Yeah.
You just lift the jacks, put the machinery under it, and then you pick it up and you take it.
I think I just really want to get out of where I'm living.
Yeah, I feel that.
And that's the faster way. Like, it's a little different because we have my son.
Right.
And we're married, and we do not like our living situation.
I hate to say this, but out of state is your best option.
Oh, we've been looking at it.
Yeah,
we have.
I hate it. California is like a ridiculous place to live, but it's a nice place to live, but you can't be broke.
No,
to buy land.
dude. It's dumb expensive out here.
Like the cheapest shit you'll find here is like $250,000, and then it's garbage.
It's a mobile home.
And it's garbage. I'm telling you, man.
I don't remember what the fuck we were looking at. We're looking at houses, whatever. I come across a mobile home that's like for sale for $48,000. And I was like, oh, that's nice.
That's not bad.
That's really not. I was like, to see something be so cheap in California, I was like,
it's amazing, right?
You're appealing to me. But then I started reading about like other people's houses and like Beverly Hills and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have come into $1 million homes with just $300. Like,
yeah,
where the fuck is my opportunity at?
Oh, okay. So I have this really bad habit of like picking up hobbies and trades for no fucking reason, and then starting them and then never doing them ever again.
I do that.
So check this out. So at some point I want to get into real estate because out of everything else, that's one of the easiest ways to become wealthy. Not rich, wealthy. Right?
For sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, how are, like, is it, to me from the outside, it's like, oh, you have to be a realtor. You have to be able to like build your way from there, sell a couple houses, get some pocket change, buy your own house, maybe then sell that, and then work your way up like Monopoly. No, it's not how it works. So there's so many different avenues in real estate to get yourself moving into wealth. Like in Texas, there's a law that if a house is vacant, right? Yeah. Like if no one's living there and it's still owned by someone, but someone's not paying the rent, you can move in to someone else's house and then you're that owner now.
Yeah, like a squatters type shit.
Yeah, it's like squatters' rights. And unless the owner actually pays off the entire mortgage, they can't remove you from the property.
That's fucking crazy.
So you can get like $1 million home that someone's not living in, who hasn't paid the rent. You just go and move in and they can't do shit about it.
That's crazy.
It's weird, right? But people have been like, oh yeah, I wasn't going to pay off the mortgage anyways. And then they give it to the bank. So the bank goes and gives you an offer since you're squatting, says, hey, they still owed $350,000. Do you want to take over the payments? Done deal. You sign paperwork and the house is yours.
Sometimes it's bad though. Like I feel like sometimes like bank owned homes suck.
Yeah, but it's also a quick way to bypass a lot of the closing costs, realtor, all that fun shit. So
that's probably right.
Here's another one. Have you heard of bird dogging?
No.
It's when you go find houses for sale and you give them to a realtor or a selling agency and you take a percentage when it's sold.
Yeah.
So basically how that works, because these companies can only be so many places. So all you do is, let's say you find a house for $250,000. You talk to the people selling it. What do they want? What are they offering? How many offers? How long has it been up?
Yeah.
You get your general information. You go up to a realtor and be like, hey, I have this property. It's for sale. I already talked to the client. They're open for offers, blah, blah, blah. Like, what can you do for them?
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, okay, so are you their middleman? Be like, no, I'm bird dogging this house. I can give you their information, but you have to go through me to sell the house. And they're like, cool, this is our offer. Go talk to them. You tell them their offer. They agree to it. Cool. You give the information. They close. You give them your number. What is it? Like 5,000 on each sale, 10,000 on each sale. Has nothing to do with any paperwork, nothing. You make an agreement to them to get the information on where this house is, how much they want for it. And once it sells, they sign the contract beforehand. You get paid. You have nothing to do with anything. You're just the middleman.
I don't ever get lucky with stuff like that though.
It's the weirdest shit, man.
Yeah.
Like I remember when I quit, my last job, I was like, I need to find something else because this job is killing me.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll get into real estate once I have enough pocket change to get stuff going. So you know those weird seminars that they're like, it changed my life forever. I'm like, I went to this man's seminar and now I'm a millionaire. I made $25,000 on my first sale, and you're just like,
That reminds me of an Everest commercial.
right? Oh, those schools are so much more of a scam.
I know.
Right? Okay.
The
Anieshka.
only good thing to come from Trump, I promise you, is the fact that he paid off my fucking student loan.
Oh.
For Everest. When I was like, oh, thank you. Okay,
So,
you could be
so
our
you actually
president
got you got your loan forgiven?
now. Yeah, I don't know shit.
That's fucking dope.
I wish I would have fucking just never paid it though. 'Cause
Oh,
then I wouldn't have fucking had to pay.
Okay, so I got into financing. So did you know that if you don't pay your loan, right, and it goes into collections, so someone else bought that debt from the bank or whoever you took your original loan from,
Yeah.
they bought it on pennies on the dollar, right? So let's say you owe $100,000, they probably bought your debt for $1,000,
That's not bad.
right? But now they don't have to notify you that your debt has been transferred and it's moved hands,
Yeah.
right? But now it's their responsibility to get the money from you.
They did this with my car because I got my car repo.
Oh, here's the crazy part. So if you haven't paid it and it's been gone to collections or whatever, they're gonna threaten you with jail time, and they'll say all kinds of dirty shit to you. They're like, we're gonna come to your house. We're gonna go talk to your parents. We're gonna do this and that, right?
Yeah.
Just to scare you, just to get money.
Yeah.
Because
Just
once they
something.
get your bank account number, once they get where you actually live and your phone number, they're gonna not stop,
Oh yeah, big time.
right? Because now they know they got you. They're
Yeah.
gonna keep milking you until you pay off the debt. But at a certain point in time, I think it's 5 to 6 years, which is a long time.
Yeah.
But if the debt is moved, you don't have to pay it back.
I don't have to pay my car back.
You don't have to pay it back.
I don't.
You don't have to pay it back.
I don't know how the fuck it happened though. I'm being honest because it hasn't been that long. I had a Versa, the little note. I got that in like when I was 24 or 25, and I stopped making payments on it at like 26 or 27.
Mhm.
And I checked my credit karma the other day. That shit is not there. And then when I go look at it, it's like it went into collections, and then somebody just paid it. It's just gone. Like I was like, what? Why? What did I do to deserve that?
So check. Okay. So what if I told you you can get a license and you can buy other people's debt, and that would be your job?
I feel like that's what somebody did with my car.
That's what agencies do.
Because I've seen, TikTok videos of them, like of people showing you how you can buy like shit for cheap, and all it is a bank is flipping something, and you're just paying, like you said, you're just paying the debt versus the full price.
Yep.
Somebody fucking paid like way too much for a Versa. I'm sorry.
It might have been super cheap. Like, I think of it this way, right? It's a total possibility. Someone might have had enough money to the point where they needed a quick deduction on their taxes.
Oh, and they just picked
And they
the name out
saw,
of a hat type
yeah,
shit.
they saw that you owed like 10 grand, and they're like, oh, if I buy this 10 grand at $500, take 10 grand off of my tax return.
I owed 16. I don't fucking know who did it, but I love you.
It's a fucking thing, man. Like, the finances is so weird because you hear shit. I'm like, how is that legal?
Right? All these fucking loopholes and shit.
You're like, wait, so you're telling me I can buy Joe Blow's like $100,000 worth of debt and then sell that debt for another $50K?
That shit's crazy, dude. Victor started paying his shit, like hella attention to this type of shit. And now he's like, he got his, what's that? Is it Dogecoin that you guys are all obsessed with?
Dogecoin, yeah.
Okay, so he got his for like half of a penny type shit.
Yeah, it was like 0.1.
Yeah, that's what he fucking bought it for. And now
Some
he's
shit like that.
now he's saying it's like way up there. And I'm
Oh,
like, you know what you're doing, huh?
the stock market's been amazing.
Yeah,
and
it's
it's been
been-
horrible at the same time.
It's been good to Victor, I'll say that.
Yeah,
It has
yeah.
been. I was afraid that he was gonna like mess with things that he didn't understand.
You can do that. You can
Yeah.
totally fucking
Oh
do
yeah,
that.
big time. I know. That's why I told him, I was like, you need to reach out to Annabelle. You need to talk to people. Don't just be buying stuff, okay? Because I see a lot of our friends, like outside of like Victor and stuff, they see him like doing really good, and they're like, oh, now I'm gonna do it. You.
Oh, that's not the same.
Don't do that.
It's not the same.
Don't
The
just
stock
pick it
market's
up
a
and do it.
bitch.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
Okay, so I tell everybody, right? Like, hey, get into the stock market. It's a good idea. Like, there's different ways to do investing.
Yeah.
Like, there's long-term investing, there's short-term, there's swings.
Yeah, Victor's long.
There's like day trading. So if you're a newbie, do long-term trading.
Yeah.
Because you can invest your money and only invest money that you do not care for, that you have no problem losing, that's not your car payment, it's not your phone bill, it's not any of that. If you could never see that money again, use that as your investment.
Yeah, that's what I told him to do it with.
Because there's people who use their house payment and their mortgage and they're like, oh, and it kills people because you're like, okay, I'll just put $2,500. It's going to go up 5% and I'm going to make $700 and then I'll pull it back out. Not a big deal. And then it drops 50% and you're out $1,000.
Yeah, that shit's crazy, dude.
And now you can't make your house payment.
You're just going to be living on the streets in a box.
A lot of people were doing that, man. It was fucking bananas.
That shit's, people are doing with their fucking stimulus checks and shit.
Stimmy checks are another, that's another thing altogether. That's free money that nobody gives a fuck about.
That's not free money.
It's free money to a lot of people.
It's gonna bite us in the ass next year. Oh
yeah, inflation's a bitch.
It's gonna be worse than 9/11. Bet.
Okay, so I saw the inflation numbers and here, let's pull it up. Let's see if we.
If not worse, probably just as bad, because 9/11 was pretty bad, and that's crazy because you don't think about like the World Trade Center having been this catalyst like that.
Oh.
A stimulus though, that's like a literal catalyst. Like we're just gonna like Canada's making their people pay it back, and I thought that was cool. Like they told their people, you won't be getting this for free. And I wish our president had told us that, because there's so many of us.
It's because we're dumb.
We are, because you know what? When they first handed out the stimulus, the very first one, when Trump was still in office, Victor's like, "Oh, it's free. We're not gonna pay it back." This is coming out of our taxes, man.
Oh man, people are so dumb. Like, okay, so here's Smart Assets inflation calculator, right? $100 in 2001 is worth $152 today.
Trash.
Right. So let's say that doubles, right? So your $100 is going to probably go maybe $50 to what it used to.
That shit's sad.
That's garbage.
It's very garbage. Like,
so that's 50%. That's outlandish, right? Like let's say realistically, like even on a super horrible, like catastrophic failure. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, but let's say this gets super bad and it does go up another 4%. So your $100 is going to go what? $70.
That's sad, dude. Like,
it is what it is.
It's so sad.
That's why you invest in Dogecoin.
That's exactly what Victor's like. We're going to be millionaires in 5 years. I would like to be. I don't know if that's true, but I'd like to be.
It's possible. Okay, so cryptocurrency has been insane ever since Bitcoin.
It's going to happen. It's
decentralized money is definitely going to be a thing.
Yeah, so I can see why people would want to heavily invest.
I'm going to put on my tinfoil hat real fast and get into some conspiracy shit because I need to say this.
They're going to take over our minds right
now. Elon Musk, please, I want the 5G. That's all I'm saying.
It's going to be him. Huh?
The fucking 5G version, please. So, Bitcoin came out in like what 2008, 2009.
Oh my god, really?
It's super old.
Oh my god.
So I heard about it, right? And it was like the only way you heard about it was fucking conspiracy. It was like, hey guys, there's this decentralized money that the government has no control over and it's soon in the future. And you're like, bullshit.
I remember hearing about that. I do. I didn't know that's what it was.
And it didn't have a name, right? And it was like it was just like this rumor. No one really. It was just rumblings on the internet, and those were like my stoner days. It came out in 2009. 2009 January. So it's like 12 years old. So the rumblings were there's this decentralized currency that's digital, right? And you're like, oh, what do you mean? There's no physical money to it.
Right.
Nowadays it's like no one uses physical money, right?
Yeah.
So someone was on the ball.
Big time.
Someone was definitely on the ball.
Elon Musk.
Right. So the original, the founder is this gentleman right here. I'm gonna butcher his name. I'm sorry. Is Satoshi Nakamoto.
I think that's good. I think you did good.
Okay. So he was the founder. He had the idea. He put it together. So blockchain basically works on information, right? So the more blockchain it is, from my understanding, the harder it is for them to decode it and actually get the funds.
Yeah.
So it's one of the most secure forms of currency. So what's going on with it is that it did so well, right? Because this gentleman supposedly this gentleman, the founder,
Yeah.
has the lion's share of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So he owns, let's say, like 90%. And the Bitcoin that is floating around is being chopped up into teeny tiny little bits,
Yeah.
which is causing the price of it to go up. Well, we come to find out that we actually don't know who has the lion's share of it. Right.
Elon Musk.
So here's what begs the question. Like,
It's Donald Trump.
he's come out and said that he does, but other sources say that he doesn't, right? Because it's so encrypted that anyone can say that they have the lion's share
Yeah.
of Bitcoin. But here's the kicker. What if a government knew about this? And let's say hypothetically speaking, they're like, let's nip this in the bud now.
Yeah.
How much is this worth? $50,000 in 2009. Let's buy 90% of it.
Yeah.
That way, if this does go anywhere, we have full control of it.
Yeah. That's
Doesn't that sound like some U.S. government shit?
They do that shit to us all the time.
Right.
They probably did it already.
So let's say, right, this does take off and like it's worth $50,000 a coin, right? If this continues to take off and there is a decentralized form of currency that everybody's cool with, right? That they're like, okay, the government can't control this. And then it comes out, oh yeah, the US government owns 90% of the Bitcoin. And then everybody who's invested in Bitcoin and they dumping it back into the market, diluting it 90%.
Yeah.
So this number could drop drastically, right? Just like that, like tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that's a risk. But as of right now, it's not. So other people saw this premise and like everything else, there's copycats.
Yeah. It was
trending. Oh, but it's printing money. Would you, if you had the means and understanding to create or copy what Bitcoin is and just be like, okay, we're going to call it something else.
I'd do it.
Right?
Big time. Yeah. I would totally do it.
Right? So that's what people did. So now there's over 100 cryptocurrencies.
I don't think there should be that many though.
But there is.
Yeah. I would say that if we actually seriously took this on, I would only assume there to be maybe different countries if you guys are going to do it that way. But
no, it's just
that's
anybody
too
who
much.
has the means of I think some of them work on a different premise on how they functionally work.
Yeah.
But for the most part, they're all doing the same thing. It's a currency that the government has no control over. It's the people who do.
I think I've predicted the end of the world, Annabelle.
Well, how? What? Tell me. Now.
So I can't talk too much about it because it's my book that I'm not putting out just yet. This book's
Okay.
you're gonna pay for it. But,
Okay, as long as it's an audiobook.
So in this book, the world ends and you're projected into the future with my main characters, and you come across currency, and the currency in there is called a credit chip. And it's just a fucking credit card, and you can fucking do this with it, and it shows you how much you have on there already.
Okay.
And you can just transfer it. It's like hella like in the future shit. So I was telling Victor about this, and he was like, "Are you the creator of Bitcoin?" I was like, "Cause I created this entire world around the time this started
really?
up. I did, yeah. Like me and Victor were fucking stoned one day, and I just came up with Victor Fury, and then you found out like years later that Bitcoin's a thing. Yeah.
You're like, wait a second.
Well, you guys copied me. I know you did.
Okay.
So I've predicted the end of the world. I've predicted the end of the world's credits. It's not going to be physical money. I used to think it was going to be bottle caps, but it's going to be this. So when we go out into space, this is what we're going to have.
Crypto.
I already know.
I believe it. I can see that.
Because this could be something that could be transferable. Like, let's just say there are other life forms out there.
Right.
I would assume that they would have something like this for currency.
A credit. Yeah, I can see that.
It makes things
But
much easier, in my opinion.
Oh, okay. So traditionally speaking, money is based on something valuable, right?
Correct.
Back then, it was a bartering system. You have spices, I have leather. I give you leather, you give me spices.
Yeah.
So that gave you value, and you can barter on the value of your materials.
Correct.
Then money came to be, and they're like, okay, gold, jewels,
Yeah.
valuable, hard to find, hard to get materials. That it has value.
Mm-hmm.
We'll make things that represent for these materials.
Yeah.
So they'll either give you a gold coin that like a sterling or like a pound or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. And then it moved on to that. And they're like, we'll give you representation of these valuable things. That's where you got paper money.
Correct.
Right. So money nowadays, or used to be, represented by a amount of gold, right? In our, what is it? In like Fort Knox, I believe it is, where they carry all the gold. So it used to be where you had a dollar and it was represented in a value of gold that we had in the U.S. What is that? I can't think of the word. Where we keep our gold, I guess. But slowly but surely, we started printing more and more money that it outweighed how much gold we physically have. And eventually they're like, okay, we're not going to connect our money to physical gold. We're just going to say that the money has a value.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, yeah, we're cool with that. So people were like, okay, $1 is worth $1, and then so on and so forth. And then it got to the point where like, okay, we can't keep doing physical money because the amount of volume of transactions, there's not enough money to have, right?
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, so then the whole credit system started. So now we don't have enough physical money to cover anyone.
Yeah.
If everybody pulled out all of their money from the bank right now, right? Not even everybody, 50% of the people said, I want all of the money in my bank account in cash in hundreds tomorrow.
Yeah.
Have my money? They couldn't do it.
Yeah, they couldn't do that.
Like the Fed, the Federal Reserve. That's what I was thinking of. The Fed doesn't have that kind of money. And I used to deliver to the Fed.
Right? Oh my God, you did.
So the Fed had basically collects money from all the major banks, Chase, Bank of America, Citibank. Any big major organization gets funneled into the Fed. I used to deliver like it was a 5x5 plastic and steel crate full of cash. And there would be 16 of them inside of a trailer that would be going to the Fed.
That's crazy.
Even that much money, there's no way anyone, if they pulled out their cash today,
You never
they would get it.
For like 5 seconds, you could just take a look. just like $2 off the top.
Okay.
You ain't gonna miss these $200 right here.
Honestly, it passed my mind when I first got hired.
I remember when I first got hired at was it No, I didn't get hired. My intern. The first time I got in the pharmacy, I was like, I wonder if I could take this codeine. I didn't, but it crossed my mind.
It passes your mind, right? Because this is the first time in my entire life I've ever seen that much money, ever.
Yeah, that's probably the only way anybody would nowadays.
Oh yeah,
like somebody like us. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's like unless you're a millionaire, unless you're like fucking Floyd Mayweather walking around with like $100,000 in cash.
That's the only time I've ever seen money like that.
Yeah,
and that's on TV.
And rappers rent money. That's fake.
Yeah, I do know that.
Oh
yeah,
my
that's
gosh.
they rent the jewels and
It's all
bottles.
fake.
Yeah, that's just kind of crazy.
So kids, if you're watching this, all the jewelry that people are flashing in Instagram and TikToks, it's fake.
Watch
it's rented.
the Method Man episode of MTV Cribs, and you will know.
Oh yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry, I stand corrected. Redman. It wasn't Method Man.
Oh, okay. Yeah, watch that. Kids, learn. It's all fake. Invest in the 401ks and your retirement plans. Don't buy jewelry.
Kendrick Lamar said to do that.
Buy land, kids. But it would break the financial system, and I think it's hilarious because people just assume that the bank has the money.
Yeah,
They have the money. They just don't show us.
for sure. That's something I would think. Yeah,
Right. Like they have it, right? No. So that's why this whole Bitcoin thing is so good, because we're already running on a credit system. This is just the alternative.
This is gonna be our new cash. It's gonna happen.
I see it. I just don't know. I just don't know what's going to happen, right? Because it could be like Endgame, right? It could be like this is the move that fucks everybody.
Yeah.
Or this is the move that saves everybody.
I feel like it. Yeah, I could see it being both because it's like it'd be so easy to like probably hack into this type shit and fuck around people's shit.
All right, so I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying it's extremely hard.
Oh, I believe, yeah.
Because I know Bitcoin is super secure, but so is the Pentagon.
And shit happens.
I can't speak for 10 years from now. I can't speak 20 years from now. Maybe there's going to be something that happens. I don't know.
Did you ever see that LifeLock commercial where the guy sees the thing with his fucking security number?
And his fucking
Shit got
identity.
hacked. It
His
got hacked
identity got
right
stolen.
after that shit.
Six,
I was like,
I believe it was 6 times his identity was stolen. He runs the company.
I enjoyed every person out there that was like, watch this, bitch.
Oh, okay.
That shit was funny. Challenge accepted.
There's hackers, dude, there's white hat hackers and then there's black hat hackers. I'm pretty sure there was a white hat that goes, really, motherfucker?
Right? Yeah, not even trying to actually step on his toes. Like, well, let me show you really quick, though.
Can you imagine? Because he's the CEO, if I remember correctly, if he's the one that did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I want to make sure.
I think it was, yeah.
CEO of Life.
White dude. At the time, he had brown hair. He doesn't have brown hair no more.
Hacked.
He kind of looked like that guy in the little corner up there.
Scott C. Tyler was the CEO.
Oh, wait.
And-
It might have been.
I lied. It was 13 times.
Wow.
It was 13 times this gentleman's identity was stolen.
Damn. Jeez, that's so terrible. There was 13 hackers out there that were like, watch this.
Bet, son. Hold my beer.
I wish I could have been in the room with at least one of them. Like, no, watch this.
How much money do you think they got away with? Because, okay, so the way fraud works is like nowadays, right? Because I don't know if you've ever seen TikTok, and there's people who like will show them have a whole bunch of blank cards and then like a card scanner. And then you'll see them buy like iPhones, iPads, and all that shit.
I've seen, yeah.
And there's no context to it, right? It's all fraud, right?
Yeah.
So what they're doing is they're either getting an RFID scanner or they're physically scanning people's cards. They're in a place or in a situation where they can scan other people's cards. I'll give you an example. Let's say you work at McDonald's and you're the cashier,
Okay.
right? Someone hands you their card. You grab the card and then you just assume the cashier threw it into the card reader and then the transaction went through. They give you your receipt and it's done.
Yeah.
What if on that way to the fucking their card reader, they swiped your card, got the information, and then threw it in there? Right?
Is that?
It happens. It's a thing.
Yeah, I think I've seen a few like YouTube videos where like
So-
girls will go back and call them out.
So what people are doing is that they're going out and they're like, hey bro, I'll give you $100 for your entire shift. Just scan everybody's card. Just do whatever you're doing. Just scan everybody's card. Here's $100.
That shit's crazy.
And people will do it because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're like, okay, is it charging them? No.
Right?
No, it's not charging them. Okay. And then they do it anyways, right? Because it's dumb kids who are fucking working at McDonald's,
Yeah.
Burger King, whatever. Or they're the ones doing it themselves, scanning everybody's cards and then dipping. So now they have all your card information, right? Like you're not, of course, well, maybe if they're there when you're doing a transaction, they might see your PIN.
Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, they'll just get your card number and they'll go buy hundreds of dollars worth of electronics. It gets
You don't
shipped,
need to fucking put the pin in and stuff.
right? So they'll send the electronics. It gets flagged, of course, from fraud alert.
Yeah.
They can't cancel the transaction, right? Because it's already been shipped.
Yeah.
It happened. It's on its way. So the only way they can stop it is if they contact the shipper and be like, hey, this was a fraud. Hold the package.
Yeah.
That never happens.
No, that would
Never
never
happens.
happen. Yeah.
So the package gets sent out. They call you. They're like, hey, Anieshka, did you buy $600 worth of iPads? You're like, no.
Right.
So you weren't in Georgia 5 minutes ago. You're like,
I
what?
live in California.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened to my mom.
So here's another thing. They will also, because sometimes they'll get caught and they've known friends who've gotten caught. So they'll sell your card number to somebody else.
Yeah, I've seen. I won't say his name.
Yeah, don't say their name.
Well,
Don't get them caught up.
He's no longer with us anymore, but I still don't want to say his name.
Oh,
But he used to do that shit.
Oh, shit.
He'd be like, hey, you guys want to come down to the fucking gas station? I got a credit card to fill your shit up.
Oh, no.
That was great. That was
And
ridiculous.
you're like, wait, so how much? I'll give you $40 of gas and then you give me $20. You're
Nah,
like,
he would
"What?"
just fucking,
Oh, yeah?
he would just run it until
It
he couldn't
fucking-
swipe it no more. Yeah, that shit would be funny. Me and Victor never acted on it because I believe in bad juju.
Yeah,
But-
karma's a bitch.
That shit was funny though.
Dude, so it's a fucking thing, man. It's like legit. So I was like, okay, so how are these? Because I wanted to know.
Yeah.
I was like, what are they doing? Because I don't want to fall victim to whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
Right. So I found out that the majority of the ones that they're doing is the swiping one,
Yeah.
right? Because the RFID one is a more expensive. It's like a device that picks up on the radio frequency of the cards.
Yeah.
So all they have to do is walk by your phone.
Yeah, I've seen that, and now they have those stupid little things.
But the
that
shitty part
block
is
it.
that with your phone, it comes with all the credentials.
Yeah, see, I don't put my credit card and shit in my phone.
Yeah. So you got to be careful. So
I'm afraid to lose my phone.
and the shitty part is that they can just walk by you and then just like,
That's crazy.
and then they have your name, address, phone number, whatever's on your card.
See, they will
and whatever's on
definitely
there.
get my name and stuff, but they wouldn't get no cards or anything like that.
So a lot of people always have it ready because they're used to going to Starbucks and just going boop
Yeah, I don't do that.
and be like, oh no, it's here, boop.
I don't trust it.
And it's so convenient, but like I've been like, I'm not gonna lie. I put my information on there.
Oh my God.
I'm not gonna lie. But I do have every single alert on my bank account, like a text message per transaction.
I do have a bank app.
Uh-huh.
I do. So they probably might.
So I've had my card information stolen twice. And it wasn't from an RFID scanner because, like I said, I used to work for this armored company and we used to work on ATMs. So we would bump into people trying to do fraud, right? The way they would do it is they would put a skimmer on the ATM and a camera. So now they have your PIN and your card number. So that way they can pull out everything. Yeah. And then by the time they get that done, your bank's like, we didn't see it. They used your PIN.
My bad.
Yeah. And it's like, they'll run your shit. Like it's crazy. So bad.
People suck.
So I figured out where I lost my information. It was actually at a gas station. So I went to a gas station. I threw in my card and I put in my PIN and it didn't have a skimmer on it. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, the only place because I used to find these things, right? While working on my job, I'd always check the card readers.
That's just crazy.
So I found out that there's a specific group of people that do just gas stations. Like they come and remove the entire unit, like unlock, they have the keys to it, unlock the unit, take out the card reader, put the skimmer in the back of the legit card reader, close it up, and then they'll plant a camera
They must be dressed like you guys because I'm like, nobody questions these people.
Oh no, they'll come up to be, gas station pump service technicians.
Yeah.
And they'll look like they have the keys. They have the keys to open everything. And they even have the little tampering stickers that they put over it says if this seal is broken, do not use.
I've seen those, yeah.
They have the stickers on them. So they'll break the old ones and put a new one on there. So it'll go months.
Oh my
months
God.
and months of people's shit getting stolen and no one's the wiser.
So even with me pulling on the unit just to see if it'll pop off, doesn't do anything.
Okay, so that's still a good habit to have.
Okay.
So always cover your PIN with your hand, even if it has a little cover.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Right? Always check and pull the card reader because the basic ones, like the entry level, like robbers and thieves, we'll buy one online and just flop it on there. It's like entry level basic shit.
Yeah, I've seen them.
So the really good ones actually go inside.
Oh, so I'm fucked with those ones.
Yeah. So they're slim enough to where they have an ion lithium battery that'll last 6 hours, maybe 4 hours.
That's not bad.
So they'll slide it in with a card, like it's already on their card. They'll push it in, pretend they're making a transaction, push it in all the way, and it'll sit flush. So it'll catch your chip and it'll still read.
That's fucking nuts.
It's bananas. And I'm like, dude, these guys are smart. Like whoever's doing this is not dumb.
I feel like what happens is like these are like tools that belong to like the actual industry, and then somebody sneaky comes around.
It's possible, yeah. Like, so the way they get your PIN is one of two ways. Either a PIN camera, which is like if you can imagine a smartphone selfie camera, like it's teeny tiny.
Yeah.
But it's got its own memory stick and it's got its own power. So they just have to set it somewhere. And usually they set it underneath the guard. So you'll put your PIN thinking that the guard is protecting you when the camera is actually under the guard. So then they'll come back 6 hours later and then they'll have a specific tool that looks like a flat metal card, stick it in, pull on it, and the whole thing will just come out. And then there's stuff in their pocket and walk out.
That's crazy.
And then they just plug it into a laptop and then it's just text. It's your number and your PIN. That's it.
I wonder how many times somebody's just looked at my bank account and they're like, she's got -5. Let's just go. Let's not even bother with her.
I don't know how often that happens.
I feel like the only reason nobody's fucking jacked my shit is because I don't have shit.
Because especially with this TikTok trend, I feel like people are being just reckless. They'll snatch someone's card and run it to see what they can get.
That shit sucks.
Like
yeah.
if it keeps going, we're going.
Yeah, they're not. They're gonna get so disappointed. They take my shit.
Well, that's what they do. They're like, oh, we can't even buy chips with it. Toss it.
You can't.
That's what they'll do. I'm dead serious.
We're gonna have to edit this because I have to go to the bathroom.
Okay. Okay.
And then it made me think without the door. I was like, oh my God, what if Hannibal just decides he's got to go get something from the kitchen?
Oh yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that.
But then I was like, I thought about that one time I got drunk and I made you carry me out of the bathroom.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
I remember telling you to get out because I had to take a shit. That was such a lie. I cannot believe I remember so much of that night, dude. I was so
My memory's so bad.
That night I was such a bad person that night. I remember the drink that did me in. I'll never forget it. I don't even know the kid. He was pouring a drink and we're sitting at I don't know what her house looks like anymore, but you know how Cynthia had that table in the I guess that's her dining area.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I'm sitting closer to the screen door.
Uh-huh.
And some dude starts pouring a drink right there. Like, I don't even fucking know this dude.
I don't know who it was.
I don't know who the fuck it was. Okay, I really don't.
Uh-huh.
And he's pouring it in a coffee cup. And I was like, fuck you, bitch. That's my drink. Right after he finishes pouring it, I drink it. And he was like, girl, that was mine. I was like, not no more. That's all I said to him. And then I stood up.
You're like, oh shit.
I was like, oh, that was the drink. That was the one that's going to do you in. And next thing I know, I'm in the fucking bathroom telling you to go shoot your shot at Virginia. And I got to take a shit. That shit was so terrible. I remember telling you I was going to need you to carry me out as a joke before we got drunk. And
that happened.
It happened.
It happened.
I was such a... I was so embarrassed for weeks from that whole...
Really? I thought you were good. I thought Anisha's fine.
Oh my God.
She didn't care.
I went into school the following Monday and Diana's like, so we made out. And I was like, I know. I know. She's the only girl I've ever kissed. And
hey, at least you can scratch that off your bucket list.
I did it so terribly. I was so drunk. I remember kissing her so disgusting.
She's like too much tongue. Too much tongue.
Oh, big time. I was sloppy drunk. That was the first time and the last time I ever got that drunk. No. And I thank God everybody at that party did not go to Birch.
You know what? I did remember everybody, like a good portion of 25% of the people went to Birch.
That shit sucked though, because I just remember going in the next day, like at school, and everybody's like, "Oh, Nishka made out with Diana." Fuck off. I felt
We're
bad.
friends. It's cool. It's fine.
I remember I told Drigo, I was like, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to kiss her," and he was like, "It's cool, man." I'm like, "No, it's not. She cheated on you."
Oh my gosh! Nowadays, most guys would be like, "That's so hot, bro." My girlfriend kissed a girl.
It was so sloppy. There's no fucking possible way that was hot on any level. Like, there's not one person who saw that and thought, "Hell yeah." It was more like, hell no. And what the
it was more like, oh my God, look what Anishka's doing.
I don't know the last time I drank like that. I don't drink like that. I think that was the last time I got drunk for sure.
Really?
Yeah, on purpose.
I can't. Surprisingly, when was the last time you saw me drunk?
I don't think I've ever
seen.
I think you enjoy being the sober one. I think you're actually stupid.
I'm shit faced 90% of the time. No,
really? Oh, you just have it put together.
I come from a long line of alcoholics.
I remember you telling me this, and
okay. So the first time I drank, right, I had Hypnotic.
Gross.
Right. I was like that of my own volition. Like I've snuck a beer.
No, yeah.
I was like, what are people raving about? Like, this is fucking disgusting. I'd
like
rather
trash,
have a Coke.
Right.
So, first time I chose to drink of my own volition, I had Hypnotic, and I was like, tastes like juice.
Gross juice.
Yeah, it tastes like juice. I'm like, it tastes like cheap, like Kool-Aid. I'm like, this is not even good. So the night went on. I had more Hypnotic. Nothing.
Were you sitting down?
I was sitting down. Nothing.
That's why.
And I was like, this is garbage. Like, drinking is like, why does my family drink? Right. And so I got up, and then it hit me. I'm like, oh, this is like a little buzz. Oh, is it time?
No, it's my husband. He's fine. Victor's fine.
Okay. I was like, oh, is the school on fire? You're like, oh my God. No, so I stood up and I was like, oh, is this what drunk is like like just feeling a little woozy. I was like, this is garbage. So I had like 6 more drinks of Hypnotic, got tipsy, and then went home.
Yeah.
That was my first drinking experience. I didn't know that most people at my age and my body weight got drunk off of 1 drink. I didn't know that was normal.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at.
So
now.
I don't know if it was just because my family drinks.
Yeah.
And I have the enzymes already built into me to process alcohol.
Yeah.
That I didn't get fucking shit faced, or it's just me being lucky. But as I got older, I tried pushing it, right? Because
so you're one of those people that wants to feel like.
Oh yeah, I want to be where everybody else is at.
No, you don't.
But I found that out later.
No, you don't. It's not as fun as it looks.
Right? So I started going to parties and drinking, and I wouldn't tell anybody. I would just pour myself a drink, and then people would be like, "Oh, he's sitting on 1 drink." Oh, yeah. Fuck no! I had like 3 or 4 or 5. And I didn't tell nobody.
Yeah.
Right? And then do you remember Mad Dogs? The MDs?
Those are so gross.
Pre-gaming those from what? City Liquor. Fucking like, hey, mister, want to buy me fucking 2? Oh, the dumbest shit, man.
Right? Boone's Farm.
Oh my God.
All right.
Oh, so bad. Just to get a pregame going. And then everybody else is already drunk getting to the parties. And I'm just like, this is fucking lame.
It's not. I never pre-gamed. I was just like, I'm trying to go sober, make a plan of attack while I'm there.
So
get fucked up.
I finally figured it out that I was doing it wrong, right? I'm built to drink hard liquor, not to drink beer.
Beer's gross anyways.
I can drink like a 12-pack and be sober. Even like light beers or water.
I feel like that's how Victor used to be. Not anymore.
Like, yeah, that was like my early 20s. I was like, I can't get drunk off of beer.
Yeah.
Like it's like I can drink it and I feel like a little bit, but it's not the same. Like it's a waste of time. I feel bloated. I'm not anywhere near where everybody else is at.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is a waste of time. So I moved to like hard liquor, and then I found Jack Daniels.
Jack's gross too, though.
But it got the job done.
I'm looking for a whiskey that tastes better, just so you know.
Pappy's.
Yeah.
Pappy's is like the shit. It is super smooth, but it's super expensive. I've had it once. My dad took me to a bar. We installed some glass.
Yeah.
And the bartender's like, hey, you ever had some Pappy's? I was like, no. And I was like 19. I was like,
that's not legal.
Yeah. I was like, is this okay? Like, and he starts like, he's a bartender. So he's just trying to have conversation. He's like, this is one of the most finest whiskeys that we have at the bar. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, so what makes it so expensive? Right. He's like, it's been sitting for 25 years. I was like, before it hit the bottle. I was like, oh shit.
That's just crazy.
I was like, okay, cool. So that makes it better? And he's like, yeah, kid.
Way better.
I was like, okay. So my dad comes over and he's like, what are you guys talking about? He's like, he's telling me about this cool whiskey. He goes like, you want to try it? I was like,
YOLO.
I was like, well, I've never drank before, Dad.
Stop lying.
He gives me this dumbass look like, yeah, you fucking liar. He's like, do you want to try it? Do you want him to pour you a little shot? I was like, yeah, I'll try it, just to. So he pours me like not even a full shot. It was like a sip.
Yeah.
Super smooth, like nice smoky flavor.
Yeah.
Like it. I hate to use this term because I'm probably using it wrong, but it had a full body flavor.
No, you're probably not. The wine people, yeah.
Like it had enough flavor to not taste the alcoholness.
Like all bittery and stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't just like super strong where you're like, oh God, that tastes disgusting. No, you're not supposed to taste whiskey anyways, but you're not, on the way down, it was
something smoother.
I was like, oh, this is nice. Like I could see myself pouring a glass.
Yeah, I've elevated my drinking from Boone's Farm.
You're like, I'm high class now.
I've got a wine rack at home.
I have 6 Stella Rosa bottles.
I have this bottle, right? I have this bottle from, I think it's from Mexico. I wish I would have remembered the name so I could tell you.
Shit.
I don't know what the fuck it is, but my sister brought it home from her honeymoon. She was like, just sip it. And I was like,
what the fuck?
What is it going to do?
That sounds like scary advice.
She said that it's going to fuck you up. She was like, she only had 1 glass and she's a wine drinker. She was like, just open it and taste it. Don't pour a glass. And I'm too afraid to open it. But I keep looking. I'm like, I'm gonna let you fucking just ferment for a couple years before I just give it a go. It looks scary. It's just like a normal dark, like maybe I think it might be green. The bottle might be a dark green, and then it's got a red cap and like a cream label. Yeah, it looks. But for some reason, that red cap, it looks fucking scary. It reminds me of like a less fancy version of like Maker's Mark type shit, but it's also not whiskey. I think it's considered a wine.
I can't do wine. Like it depends, right? So I've had Stella Rosa, super sweet, tastes like juice, gives me a headache.
Yeah, most
right?
wine does.
Right, gives me a headache. I don't like it. I'm like, I'm not even drunk. Why am I getting a headache?
Stella's not the one that got me. It was when I was going to Everest. And one day I ditched. This is why I'm not a fucking pharmacy technician, because I ditched.
Oh, shit.
One day I ditched with one of my friends, and we went to Kabuki in Victoria Gardens.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And they have a plum wine there, and she ordered it. And I was like,
oh, soju?
what is that? She's like, do you want to taste it? And I was like, fuck yeah, we're here to get fucked up. Oh, my God. I think Stella is trash. It tasted like almost pure juice, to be honest with you. But I feel like Stella has that. Some of them have that like bitter taste to it at the end, and I don't really care for it. I also thought about buying those what are those sulfur drops? I think they are, so you don't get a headache from your.
I don't know. Was it this bad boy right here that's on the screen?
I didn't see the bottle, but I think so though.
Yeah, it's a plum sake.
Oh my God, I loved that shit. I have dreamed about that ever since.
I have a bottle in the fridge
of that.
Yeah.
Why do you have that?
Because my pet likes soju and she likes it, and it tastes good.
I've been dating the same person for like 1,000 years, and we don't just randomly put sake in.
But I'm also a fucking weeb, so Japanese stuff intrigues me.
I don't know if it was that. It might be.
It's super tasty.
It's super tasty.
Super tasty.
Oh my God.
If you make a mixed drink out of it, it's gonna creep up on you, fuck you up.
So yeah, we only had that one glass, and I do remember after that one sip, like already feeling warm.
You're like, like what is this?
But I'm a smoker, so
that's never changed.
Yeah,
it's never changed.
Sorry, I like weed.
I've been on and off, been a stoner. Like, I used to smoke a lot more in high school. I had more reason to smoke in high school.
I haven't stopped since high school.
Were you the kids that Dare was telling me about?
Probably. I definitely disappointed that little tiger dude. Like, I don't know. I remember the first time I smoked, I was like 14, and my best friend's boyfriend had just got murdered.
Oh shit! Right? I do remember you telling me about. Yeah,
I was super sad. And we're sitting in a park across the street from his best friend's house, and his best friend's there with us with some other dude. And my best friend hands me the joint. She's like, "Bitch, hit this." And I was like, "I don't know how to smoke."
I don't know how to do drugs.
Right?
I don't know how to teach me.
And she was like, "All right, let's do this." So she hands me a joint. She's like, "You got to put it in your lungs." And I'm like, "What?" Huh? So somehow it happens. To this day, I don't know, because I don't remember putting the smoke actually in my lungs. Somehow I get high, and it hits me when I'm walking down the hill back to the house. Oh my God!
Did you get a breeze?
I did. Oh my God! It was summer. It was summer, so it was
nice.
Man, it was nice. And that same day, I got so fucking stoned. His best friend took us to the liquor store. We got some drinks, some chips, and then we go back to his house. And by this time, it's nighttime. We're still fucking stoned. This is when my fucking high lasted forever. He's sitting in the car. When we get there, he's just sitting there like this. And my friend's like, "Hey, what's wrong?" And he's like, This is the call for when it's safe. And he does like some like bird call. And we're like,
you're like, okay.
Oh, okay. So me and her, we're fucking standing in the middle of the street eating hot Cheetos, giggling like dumbasses.
He's like, call.
Yeah, out of nowhere. And she's like, okay, it's safe to go in. I'm like, I remember thinking like, why did he have to do that? I don't know. So we go in, we sleep because we're too high to drive home. And the next day comes and he's doing it again. He's just sitting there like this. And she's like, hey, what's up? And he was like, this is my knock, okay? Don't open the door unless it's this knock. And he does a knock on his little bedpost. And I was like, oh, what's going on, man? Like, so he leaves the room, and me and my friend are standing there, and he's got this whiteboard in there, and we start drawing on it. We're giggling, fucking talking shit to each other. I was like, bitch, you look like this, like dumb stuff. And then out of nowhere, we hear arguing.
Oh shit.
And we hear our friend, the guy, he was like, check this out, Priscilla. I don't want to check you out no more. Fuck you. And I was like,
oh shit.
Oh my God, what's going on? And my best friend looks to me and she's like, that's the name of his baby mama. And I was like, oh my God, there's 2 fucking girls in here. Like, and
high off their ass, giggling.
Right? We slept on the floor, but we wanted to be nice and we cleaned up for him.
But that's like a surefire way of letting him know that females were at his house.
So he comes to the door after we realize like they are arguing. She's throwing shit at him. We can hear it. I'm like, oh man, we need to get the fuck out of this house, man. So he comes to the door and he knocks or whatever. And she's like, why the fuck are you knocking like that? And I stand behind the door. I don't know. God's grace just put me there. Okay. And my best friend's on the other side of the door. So when you open it, you can see her and she like kind of ducks into the closet. And his daughter looks at her and looks at mom and just goes like,
you fucking snitch.
And I'm just standing behind the door looking through the crack like, oh my God, they don't even fucking know I'm here. Like that shit was so bad. She flipped her shit. I thank God she didn't see both of us. And he pushes her out of the room. We climbed out the window and we had to fucking walk home. San Bernardino.
Oh
like
no.
Fucking 8:00 in the morning on a Sunday.
Oh.
It was so terrible. I'll never forget that. Oh my God.
That's so bad.
I hope her husband doesn't watch this.
Don't share it. Don't share it to them then.
Anybody who knows me knows who's going to be my best friend in these stories. She's all I ever talked about growing up. Oh my goodness.
I doubt it. They might not see it.
It was terrible. She might not. She's doing her own makeup blog and stuff now.
That's good. That's fine.
It was just like it was so innocent, but it looked so bad. It did.
There could have been worse situations, right?
There were.
But people don't think like they don't.
No, we didn't. I wish I was young and I didn't know that he had a baby mama. I didn't. She knew, but I didn't. And if I had known that, I'm like, bitch, we're not sleeping here. Like,
yeah.
no.
Yeah, but what were the odds?
Yeah, because you know what? When he first sat there like this in the car, and if I knew he had a baby mama, I'm like, you worry she gonna come home, huh? I would have immediately connected that because of the particular household I come from. I would have put the 2 and 2 together. Like, no, this ain't a good idea, man. Nope.
You probably shouldn't sleep at his house high as fuck.
As somebody's baby mama, do not sleep at my house if I'm not there and I vocate it.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
And you're a female.
Yeah, that's like grounds to get stabbed.
She was so pretty too. I remember what she looked like. She was so gorgeous.
But at least he wasn't doing anything, right?
With us.
Well, okay, that's fair.
I think her hostility was
well founded.
Yes, I do. I think that he did stuff to deserve it.
Some stuff before.
It was I don't know. I always wondered what happened to that person too.
There's a lot of that as you get older.
Yeah, he was in a gang. After my best friends died, I remember him telling me that he wanted to get his best friend's name tattooed on him. I was like, get it right here in like, big blocks. And he was like, nah, because if I'm fucking shooting out the window, somebody's gonna see me. And I was like, oh, that's a thing people think of.
Yeah. Tattoos are like the first thing that get you identified now.
I mean, I've never wanted to commit a crime. So when I got
sometimes you don't think about it.
Have I ever committed a crime? And not probably texting and driving.
I think everybody's committed a crime. I just think the severity varies per situation.
Okay, I've shot a gun, but I was never worried about my tattoo showing when I shot the gun.
Okay. Yeah, well, okay.
I didn't need to worry.
You're like, I was fine.
I was at a shooting range.
Yeah, right. You're like, it was.
I feel like that also comes from me kind of having a sheltered life. Growing up, a lot of people call me a rich kid because,
I didn't think of you as a rich kid. I thought of you as like a regular person. Like there was a few rich kids at our school. Like there was like a few kids that came out with like brand new cars to school, and you're like, what the fuck?
For me, when I say rich kid, for me, and I feel like anybody else that ever called me, it's more like I don't have to worry about my next meal, or I don't have to worry about the house. That
was a thing, right? Yeah. So you got made fun of if you got free lunch.
Yeah.
Like you're like, wait, so why are you making fun of me? Oh, because you got a pin to get lunch from the government. Sad, dude. That was sad. You're like, wait, what? Why? Like, well, don't you know the only reason you get free lunch is because your mom doesn't make enough money? You're like,
I felt bad for people like that because I got free lunch.
Yeah, me too.
that was because my parents didn't want to fucking make me lunch. Like,
yeah, like okay, so the program went like if you have to fill out a form at school, and then you have to put how much you make.
Yeah.
If you're under a certain amount, the school pays for, or the government pays for the lunch.
Yeah.
Right. No big deal. They give you a pen, you get free lunch.
Yeah.
But if you pass that, if you pass a certain number, you have to pay like a yearly fee of like $100-something bucks.
Oh, okay.
And it pays for your child's lunch for the whole year.
Yeah.
Right. But rich kids, they got like $20 every day to go buy a pizza and the hot Cheetos and whatever.
$5 every day.
Right. I didn't get shit. My mom was like, no, you got free lunch, son. Go use that number.
No, yeah, my dad definitely spoiled us. So when people called me a rich kid, I was like, yeah.
I just remember working and like side hustling, like slanging, doing stupid shit, like selling Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, candy, and fucking all kinds of stupid shit.
Yeah.
To save up $5 to $10 by the end of the week to buy a personal pizza,
Yeah.
hot Cheetos, a Coke, and a cheese cup. That was like,
Oh, you
the
went to
shit.
the windows. I never
yeah.
went to the window. I was afraid to go to the window.
because you're like, can I please have a personal pizza?
I
And
was so afraid to go to the windows. I only went to the windows in middle school. High school, I never went over there.
they had the food was good, but it was just like Pizza Hut pizza, Little Caesars breadsticks, and there was something else like hot dogs, but no one ever bought them.
Now I wonder. We got pizza from Pizza Hut and breadsticks from Little Caesars. Like, why didn't you just get
Little Caesars pizza?
Right? Like
They did towards the end of senior year. You can buy a whole pizza that was like $20.
yeah, I wasn't there senior year.
Yeah, well,
I
You
went
missed
to
out.
I went to
You missed
Birch, guys.
you missed out.
Shout out to Birch.
So people are like, what is that? So it's another high school?
It's where everybody from AB went if they were dumb.
Not really, because there was a lot of people who went to finish early.
There were a few. I finished early. I finished in January.
Well, there you go.
I didn't like it. I stayed. Like, I finished and then I
You just kept
going
coming to class. They're like, Anishka, you graduated already. Leave.
I got bored, and then at that point, I only had to go do my. I just had cooking class, so I'd get high, go to school, fucking eat, and go home.
Like pretend to make a souffle and then be like, eat the ingredients.
I loved that class. That class was awesome. That teacher was. She was awesome until she wasn't.
She was awesome till she sucked.
It was like I ran for prom queen.
At Birch?
Yeah,
Right.
I got
I didn't-
nominated. I
I
don't even know
didn't
who
go.
the fuck nominated me, but somebody nominated me.
And you're like, well, I'm gonna run
You
with
didn't go to our prom?
I did.
You did. I remember you being there.
I did.
Stupid ass ex went.
Okay, I was lucky and cool. Well, that's just me. So most kids like try to save up money for like school trips and
Yeah.
fucking like museums. I was like, no, I want to go to every dance, all of them. Homecoming.
I fondly remember you before I was even your friend at our freshman homecoming.
oh
At,
shit.
at the end of the night, everybody was yelling 05, I think it was.
Yeah.
And I remember you walking in front of me yelling 08 out of nowhere. I was like, yo, we're freshmen, bro. Don't be
I'm all throwing up our number, and then everybody's like, "Fuck that kid."
right. I was like, hey, we're not even supposed to be here, man.
I
For
was a
some
midget,
reason,
too.
it just totally that memory just stands out to me.
I was fucking so small. I was like freshman year. I was like 5'6".
You were a tiny little body.
Fat shit. I was a
You're
fat little
adorable.
shit.
You're so adorable. I remember. Do you remember how we started talking?
Yes. We were in summer school.
Was it summer school? I just remember. I think it was summer school, but I remember. I won't say her name.
Okay.
One of my friends had a crush on you,
Uh-huh.
and I walked up to you. She was like, "No, don't do it, don't do it." And I was like, "Fuck off, I'm doing it." And I walked up to you, I threw my arm around you, and I was like, "What's your name?" You were like, Annabelle, and I was like, "See my friend right there? She likes you." And you saw her, and you're like, "Please don't." That's
Oh,
exactly
wait,
what you said to me.
I do remember.
I was like, "Come on, it's my friend." And you were like,
She sat
"Please
behind
don't."
me in class. I do remember.
That was such a weird crush.
It
like,
was
for her
so bad.
compared to who she's married to now. I think that's funny to look at.
I have not kept up with her.
I hardly keep up with her. She doesn't live in California anymore.
Oh, okay.
She was always a weird friend for me.
Yeah.
I remember in middle school, if she sees this, I'm totally sorry. I'm not saying your name. I remember in middle school, she tells me, this is probably why I shouldn't have tried to hook you up.
Oh no.
She comes up to me. It was like when she first got transferred over because she wasn't from here.
Uh-huh.
She got transferred over and I befriended her. And I remember my two main friends we're like, no, bitch, she's fucking weird.
Oh shit.
Right. So one day, me and her are talking. I have her by myself because my other 2 friends didn't like her.
Right.
And she's like, my turtle died the other day, and I took it apart. And I was like,
Whoa.
what?
That's some serial killer shit.
Right? She was like, I like dug the outside, like the inside out. And I was like,
Why?
why did you do that? Like, she's like, I just want to see what it looked like inside. I'm like, it's a fucking thing
Turtle.
of organs. Like,
I'm assuming it has all the things that we have.
I don't think she understood that the turtle's shell is also kind of its
part of the body. Yeah.
Right? And
I guess.
she was weird. She was just really weird. I don't think I should have tried to hook you guys up. It's a good thing you guys didn't, because
Yeah, that would have been. I was such a pushover freshman year. Like, I remember my 8th grade girlfriend came with me to high school.
yeah.
And she was trying to get at my friends while she was with me in front of me. And I was like, no, it's okay. She's just trying to be friends with them.
Oh
Like,
my God. She's just really, really nice.
she's just being really friendly. And then surprisingly, one of my other friends who just happens to be more crash than I do, and like she was more upfront about her opinion
Yeah.
about people.
Yeah.
She pulled me aside. She's like, she's a fucking hoe. She's like,
For real.
she's just playing with you because you're fucking nice, Animal.
Yep.
I was like, but she's my girlfriend.
I must have approached you shortly after this conversation, because you still had the balls to look at me like, please don't.
I think it was all right, so that whole situation with my friends happened. We broke up, and I was just like, cool. My only girlfriend that I had in high school lasted a week.
That's not,
That was a long time in high school, man. A week into high school,
I was with
man,
my
you might
ex.
as well get married.
I was with my ex all through high school. It was the worst idea I ever fucking had in my life.
I tried to help, but I was like, this is just my opinion, Anishka.
It was, the funny thing is, looking back, I don't remember hearing anybody's opinion outside of it being good.
Really?
A few like I remember Alex's opinion on him, because he fucking hated him, and
Yeah.
I think he had a crush on me, but I don't know if that's true.
I don't know either.
But he was, I remember him, he's fucking a loser. And then I have a few other dude friends that I kind of remember, but the people that I like really went to school with,
Like, he's fine.
yeah, that's what I remember.
Okay.
He was terrible.
But these high school relationships, you can't put any merit into them. Like,
Yeah, I've learned that.
you just can't. Like, there were like 90% of the time you're in class. How much actual relationship was there?
We didn't even fucking go to the same school past freshman year.
That's what I'm saying.
It was terrible. He cheated on me like a million times. I was just like, Ajao. I don't understand. I don't know why I dated somebody in high school. I don't know why anybody does that. I don't. Outside of like just
You
trying
gotta
to
build
fucking,
up some experience.
outside of like trying to have sex and like just put some numbers
Oh,
under
yeah,
your belt
yeah,
real quick.
yeah.
I don't
That's the
understand it. Like,
I think that's the driving force behind all relationships in high school.
for most, yes.
Well, on the
do
guy
know-
side.
mm,
On the guy side,
yeah, I
I think on the girl side, there's more of like, oh my god, maybe he's the one.
nah, I knew when my ex proposed to me, I was like, why are we doing this?
Oh, no.
It was, I wish I could have said, I wish I would have had enough courage to say no the day
It's
he
hard.
asked me. Oh
hard.
yeah. Oh yeah. That's
Because you don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, and on top of that, you're scared of what it could escalate to.
I knew saying no was going to break his heart no matter what.
Oh yeah.
And I just remember I took the ring and I looked at him. I was like, I wish I could have said no. So I told him.
Oh shit.
He was like, well, why didn't you? I was like, because everybody was watching. Like, he proposed to me at Disneyland.
But that's good though. Like, okay, in some way, like it's a good thing because you had the courage to like take it, but like handle it in private.
Yeah, I didn't.
Because there's some people, man, like they will be like, no, I was just
I thought we were just friends.
like, we're just kind of like wasting. Like I'm just waiting for the other guy to get his shit together.
Yeah, right.
And you're just like, well, what?
It was terrible. It was like I wanted to say no, and I think I would have, but this lady out of nowhere, it just was like, oh my god, they're getting proposed.
Oh,
I was
fucking a Karen just walking around.
like, she's watching, and then I said yes. Like I told him, I was
Oh,
like, I want to say
no.
no, and he was like, well, you can say no if you want to, and I was like, well, everybody's watching, so I'll just say yeah, and. So he hugs me and she's like, can I get a picture? And I'm like,
Oh my god,
I
this
don't even
bitch.
fucking know you. She takes a picture on her phone and she's like, all right, give me your number and I'll send it to
That's
you. And I'm like,
terrifying on both ends. As a guy, right?
I don't know if he ever had that picture. I don't know if he ever like got it. I hope it's gone.
Well, on a guy's perspective, right? That's terrifying. Like I've never proposed to anybody ever.
Be sure.
Like ever. Like, okay, my last relationship was 5 years and I contemplated it. Like I was like, damn, I could have sworn she'd be gone by now.
I never even met her though, so you can't do that.
I know, right? So so I was like, but she had her issues and we had our issues.
Yeah.
But that was one of the biggest reasons why I never proposed, like right off the bat. Like, oh, it's been 2 years, let me propose. I'm like, I've been in enough relationships to where I go, okay, there's a formula to this.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like some people get lucky and just land on it,
I got lucky.
right? You can just land on it and be happy and not even know. But then you start bumping into people and you're like, oh, these people are broken.
Yeah.
And they need a specific type of person to be there with them and deal with their shit forever.
Oh yeah, big time, dude.
So I was like, I can't do that with some of these people. And I'm like, all right, well, this relationship's going to end. Right. Like if it's not me doing something stupid because someone gives me a better offer, right? Because I've cheated before, right? It's happened.
We're not all perfect.
And, or they cheated on me, or we just casually break it up because there was a big fight and we're like, you know what? No more fights.
Yeah.
We're done.
Yeah.
Right. After those 5 years, I was like, okay, so we have a stable relationship for 5 years, but there's been really big problems every 6 months.
Oh yeah, that's like a pattern.
Yeah. Every 6 months, there's like a really big issue. All right. I'm like, I progressively try to move my life forward and I have to drag you along.
Yeah.
Like I'm literally pushing you to be a better person and it's dragging on me.
Yeah.
I can't do that. So I'm like, I'll give this person every opportunity to make themselves better. And then they quit.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm so glad I didn't propose.
Yeah, it's just like, when Victor proposed, okay, so he wanted to propose before he actually proposed, but then we got in trouble with the law.
Oh no.
Yeah, we got caught selling drugs. So.
Oh yeah, that does a thing sometimes.
And it was right when I graduated Everest, and that's when he originally wanted to propose. And I thought maybe after the struggle that came after, I thought it wasn't gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been okay. I mean, maybe because I wasn't a bitch during the struggle. I don't know. It wasn't that bad. But he ended up proposing to me 3 years, 3.
I don't know.
4th of July. It was 4th of July. I don't even remember. But I just remember I didn't believe him.
You're like, you're fucking with me.
I thought he was fucking with me because the first one I got, it was in front of a bunch of strangers. So this one was in front of my family. My whole family was there except for my dad. And he just comes over to me and gets on one knee. My mom's in front of me. My older sister's right there. My little sister's sitting on the couch. And her best friend's recording it. Now I realize what's going on.
Did you like feel like a setup happening? Like, did you like, wait, what are you doing?
Looking back now, yes. At the time, he surprised me, which is difficult to do.
Was your first instinct to be like, am I about to get murdered?
I just thought he was fucking with, because we fuck around a lot. And he just starts telling me he loves me and, all that stuff.
You're like, okay, shut up. I know this.
And he was like, will you marry me? And he pulls the ring out and I was like, shut the fuck up. My sister pushes on you're joking.
You're like, get out of here. Shut the fuck up. Okay, whatever. Walk away.
He's there on one knee.
He's like, no, Anieshka.
You're serious?
And then you're like,
I didn't cry. When I get nervous, I just get nervous. There's no tears. It's just nerves. And my finger, I had another ring on. My finger got swollen. I couldn't take it off. He's like, I just asked you. And I'm like, I know. I'm just, this is me. This is who you're marrying.
You're like, just break it off. Break it off. Just break it off. Break it off.
I wish I could find, because
they have it on video.
They do. It's somewhere on Facebook. It's not on mine though.
Oh shit.
I wish I could find it, because
we could try.
That shit. No, you'll go on my mom's page, and I don't want to show
up. Okay.
You go on YouTube. My mom. She's. My mom's a free spirit. Okay.
Okay. Let's stay off of family's OnlyFans.
Okay. Sorry. I've been thinking about doing it, but not for sex. For my feet. I just want to do it for my feet.
Okay.
I saw this fucking lady.
I'm listening. Pitch me this deal.
Well, I haven't started it yet. Okay. I just saw this lady. Okay.
Okay.
This lady was like, she switched careers from being an HR manager or something to.
So making $70,000 a year. Okay.
OnlyFans page.
Jeez.
Right. And I was like, what the fuck did you do that for?
Okay.
And she said one day she was at a park and she took a picture of her feet and her sandals or whatever. And somebody commented it on Instagram. They're like, I'll pay you $500 to wear my socks and take a picture and send it to me.
What the fuck?
And I was like, oh my God, $500 for a picture of me wearing socks? Because
For one picture?
For one picture. Just because you think my feet are pretty. I was like, what the fuck?
That I know that's a fetish.
It is a very
but that's sick. That's a lot of money.
It's a fetish, and I know it's a fetish because my dad has a fetish in that same department.
Oh, no way.
I hate that I know it, but it's just feet. So
he's like, I love the way they look in shoes.
At least it's just feet, not
anything crazy.
Yeah, right.
Nothing too crazy.
So growing up, my mom took care of her feet. My sisters. That's just something we did. So now I'm like, I don't think I have sexy feet, but I could try, see what happens. There's so many of our friends that have OnlyFans pages.
I was just about to say that. So many of my Facebook friends have OnlyFans.
There's a lot of female friends too, dude. I'm like,
and I get it, but I want to bring someone on who is in the industry because it's gotta suck. Like
I don't know. I followed this girl. She's a character muse for me. I think you might have seen me share her every now and then. I fucking love her. I feel like you like her too. I don't know her name. Her Instagram name is Give Me Your Soul, but in like black speech type shit. She seems fucking stupid happy. The guy she does it with just proposed to her. I was like, oh.
Okay, so average earnings from OnlyFans on average is about $180 a month.
God, so if you're doing good, you're doing fucking good then.
And that's like the average people. That's fucking
trash. That's not even worth it.
Right.
Never mind. No foot page, guys. Sorry.
Well, let's see. Because let's see. 15 OnlyFans earnings. Let's scroll down. Let's see what they say. Oh, these are like people, like regular people. See what they what is OnlyFans? How much does the average person user make? About okay, so about $180 per month, according to XRUS. The top 1% of creators account for about 33% of the platform, and the top 10% occupy about 75%.
Oh, so it says you ain't gonna get shit unless you post every fucking day.
I don't know what the logistics are. I don't know like what the statistics, but these motherfucking females are making bank.
At the age of 31, I can tell you right now, I cannot go back to back to back to back to back every fucking day.
Really?
Maybe it's my husband and our particular choice in how we choose to play as adults.
Okay, that's fair.
It could be that, but
that's fair. But
I know
usually
for sure.
women are,
I
more
definitely,
resilient.
I am, but I
Limits.
gotta pace him too. You know what I mean?
Limits. Yeah.
I know guys take a little bit more to get back up there.
So some physics is involved. Okay, so Black China makes 20 million on OnlyFans.
I don't even know why, because I wouldn't want to look at nothing on her ever. Her face is trash. Have you seen her face?
I don't know who Black China is, but apparently she
China is the black lady who she might be mixed, who had a baby with Rob Kardashian.
No, nothing.
She's the stripper that he wifed up.
Let's hope. I'm gonna look up Black China, and I'm gonna hope to God she doesn't pop up
like
butt naked.
How Lil Kim looks now, but like on meth and crack and heroin.
Oh, ew.
She's ugly. That's actually that first picture you saw was a good one of her. Right, that one.
Oh.
Yeah, she's terrible, dude. I don't know how the fuck Rob was like, hell yeah, I want to wipe that up. Like,
maybe she's got fucking skills, bro.
I am 100% certain it's all in her skills.
Maybe she just fucking sucks the soul out your body.
She's got a really big butt. It might partially be hers. I only believe Amber Rose now.
Look, I'll be honest. I've been with females who aren't that pretty, and my friends have made fun of me, and I've told them, look, bro, if I explain to you what she's doing with my dick, you would not hesitate to try to take her.
Yeah.
And they're like, you're lying, bro. She's so ugly. I'm like, okay, bro. I'm just saying.
Looks are not everything, but Black China, she got miles too.
She got miles.
So her looks matter for me.
But 20 million a fucking.
I would not pay to see her fuck. I'd just go on fucking Pornhub.
20 million. Okay. Cardi B is making $3 million.
I didn't even know she had one.
She used to be a stripper.
I wouldn't want to. Did you see the picture of her nipple?
No.
It looks like a pancake.
I have not. I honestly have not.
She was on live on Instagram Live.
And it just came out.
And assholes screenshotted the fuck out of her nipple slipping out. It's huge because she just had a baby.
Oh.
And the particular color against her skin, it looked like a pancake. Literal.
My gosh.
So people fucking cropped it out. Oh my God.
It
was
made memes.
so terrible.
Dank memes. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna look up Cardi B nipple memes after we're done.
You better. They're fucking hilarious.
Okay, so these are like the top hitters in this industry. So like some on the low end, they're making, okay, so let's look at their follower count, right? So at the top, Black China, 16 million followers, making about 20 million, right? At the bottom end is, what is this? Gem Wolfie with only 180,000 followers, making 900,000.
That's still pretty nice though.
That's okay. Let's look at the percentage, right? So about 16 makes you 20. About 24 makes you 11 million.
Yeah.
As you go down, once you hit 100,000, once you hit 100,000 followers, you're making about 100,000.
Still pretty okay, yeah.
So let's say 50,000 followers, right? You're probably making about 20 to 50,000 a month.
That's just crazy. I don't know if I would want to.
Because this is subscription based, right?
I'm gonna answer this.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So
cool.
These are subscriptions.
So this. I'm assuming. I'm be honest. I've never been on OnlyFans for anybody.
I don't understand.
I keep seeing process. I think it's subscription based. I don't think it's purchase based, but I could be wrong.
And then a part of me is thinking, because I see like the particular one that I follow, she's always like, oh, it's $10 off today, 50% off today. So I'm like, is it a weekly or a monthly? I feel like it's weekly. And I don't feel like that's fair if they don't post regularly like that.
I don't know. I would need to look into it more. I'll have somebody on who is an OnlyFans professional.
That would be great. We have so many.
Yeah. I'm thinking I have a few friends in particular. Okay, so I have a funny story. I don't know if this is the story about this person.
Okay.
So I started dating again, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, all right, cool. I went to a anime convention and I was filming there and I'm taking photos of cosplayers. And there was a group of girls, one in particular that was very voluptuous. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, do you guys want to take a picture? We're in the club scene. Like, do you guys want a picture? Follow me on Instagram. Yeah. Take a picture of them. Go through the dance floor, take some more pictures, come back around, bump into the same girl that caught my eye, making out with some buff Asian guy. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, that's probably her boyfriend or her man. Yeah. And I was like, hey, you guys look like you're having fun. Let me get another picture. And she's like, sure. And she looks hesitant to take a picture, but before she was in it to win it. I was like, and she was super, like, you could tell she was used to getting pictures of her taken. Yeah. I was like, what happened? Like, she's not drunk, right? Yeah. Like, all of a sudden you're skittish. So I'm like, give me a happy face. And you can tell she's like trying to like tilt her face in a funny way where it's like a bad angle. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? So I took the picture and then I was like, hey, can you move your face towards the camera? She was like, okay, take the picture, whatever. And then I'm editing the pictures and I'm looking for these people, right? Yeah. So a lot of them, I give them my Instagram information. I send them a message and I'm like, hey, I was the one wearing such and such. And that's usually them to me. Yeah. So that way, when I edit them, I could send them out and tag them. Yeah. And I found that girl and I was doing her picture. I was like, hey, I got done editing your picture. Do you want me to tag you? And she's like, please don't. Mm-hmm. The guy that I was with that night wasn't my boyfriend. Oh. And I was like, oh, I got you. No, man, it's cool. I won't post it. Yeah. I won't tag you. She's like, I really fucking appreciate it. Thank you so much. I was like, no, not a big deal. A pimp's got to cover a pimp too. I got you, girl. Yeah. Don't even trip. And she's like, oh, you're so sweet. You're so nice. Like, are you a photographer? I was like, I take pictures for fun. I'm trying to get better because it's part of me building something bigger. And she's like, oh, well, I'm a model. I was like, would I be so down to do a photo shoot with you? I was like, oh, for sure. Let's do that. Yeah. Really cute. So I was like, all right, whatever. So a couple weeks go by and I was like, my friend Chuck was having a big DJ event where he got a sub section or like he got on the same card as a very big DJ in LA. That's pretty cool. So he got the smaller room while this big show's happening. And we were super pumped. We're like, oh yeah, let's go. I think it was at like the Belasco or some shit like that. Yeah. So we go And I was like, hey, this would be really dope. I saw her at the party. She looks like she's a live wire. I was like, let me invite her out.
Yeah.
So I invite her out. I was like, hey, my friend's DJing tonight. We're gonna go support him. Let's have fun. She's like, I'm so down. Let's go. So I meet up with her in LA at a Starbucks, and we're chit chatting and we're talking about the Suicide Girls.
Yeah.
Right, how she's applied to them and like she has been rejected, and she's applied to cosplay deviants and they don't like her. And I'm like, oh really? Because later that night, I have video at this cosplay convention. She's a stripper.
Mm-hmm.
So she got on stage with the models who were also doing like a striptease thing and blew the girls out of the water.
Yeah.
So she just out of nowhere gets on stage and nobody gives a fuck about the hired help. Right? So she, I guess, had a conversation. I guess that was her way of trying to be like, hey, I can do this also. Like, let me join.
Yeah.
And the manager was there. She was like, nah, we don't like that. Like,
That's crazy.
like,
That sucks.
right? Like you think, oh, let me shoot my shot. Let me be wild. Let me show what I can do.
You know, in that industry, that's how they fucking are. That's how they are. They'd rather you fall in line.
And it did not go well for her. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, really? Because I know I've personally met the manager of that institution. I was like, really? She's such a nice person. Like that seems so out of character for her. But I'm like, I don't know her personally like that.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a business decision. Maybe she saw something she didn't like, or maybe she's seen it before and it didn't work out well. I don't know. So I didn't ask. I was like, oh, that sucks. I was like, well, at least, you know, you're doing stuff. And she's like, yeah, but it kind of sucked. I was like, hey, but we still have this show that we're going to. Don't even worry about that. Don't trip.
Yeah.
Her being a beautiful lady, she's kind of used to being treated a certain way, right?
Yeah.
So she saw me being a photographer and she saw me saying like, hey, I'm going to LA to a club where my friend's DJing. She just assumed my friend was headlining.
Oh my God.
And she just assumed that we were going to get him for free.
Oh, wow. She didn't even like.
No.
Wow. There's no humble beginnings from her.
Nope. So I was like, so the way this went down, because I was a little bit embarrassed, right? Because she has a very big personality. She starts talking to the doorman before we get there. I was like, hey, we should probably get in line. And she's like, no, we'll come back later. I was like, well, we should probably get in line because we still got to buy our tickets.
Yeah.
So I say we still got to, and she cuts me off and she starts talking to the bouncer and she's chopping it up with the bouncer and she's massaging the bouncer.
Yeah, that's what they do.
And I was like, okay, cool. I'm like, if she can get us in, cool.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, of course.
And about 20 minutes goes by and I was like, hey, we should probably get in line. And she's like, no, Jeff here is going to let us in. I was like, I didn't know you knew Jeff.
Right.
And
I do now.
And she was like, yeah, Jeff's a really cool guy. Like, he's like, you're going to let us in, Jeff, right? Like, what? Like, our friend's DJing tonight. And I was just like, oh, shit. He's like, oh, really? So you guys already have tickets. Like, you probably have, like, the ones that the DJs have to
like
pass
some
out to the friends and
VIP
family.
shit,
Yeah. So you guys don't need my help. I was like, no, Jeff, we probably need your help.
Right? Wait.
And it was, let's say, about 10 minutes later when the doors opened, everybody starts going in with their passes or whatnot. Yeah. And I'm frantically buying tickets online. Right? And she's like, Jeff, are you going to let us in? He's like, yeah. Just get your VIP tickets ready. I was like, fuck.
Right.
So I'm buying them as she's talking to him. And she's like, oh, just show him your tickets. I was like, give me a sec. And I like show the tickets and it shows when I purchased them and how much I paid for them. And she's like, oh, wait, are we not getting in for free?
Oh, wow.
Like, is your friend not headlining tonight? And I was like, no, like I'm here to support my friend.
You didn't ask.
And instantly, like, you saw her face just like, oh, this fucking guy.
This leader.
And I was like, fuck, it's so embarrassing, right? And that was our first impression of us hanging out, right? So I'm like, cool, blew my shot. Like, I'm probably not impressing this chick at all. I was like, and she seemed so nice. And now I'm just like, I'm not even going to bother. So I was like, okay, the night goes on. And luckily for me, I have an amazing personality,
You do, I know.
and I saved my own ass, but I accidentally got somebody else in trouble.
Was it her?
Yeah. So of course, she's out to try to have fun. So she's trying to see what next guy can make her day. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
So she finds a nice, tall, white guy who's pretty good looking and younger than me, and was like talking her up, and she's tiny and she's thick. And I'm like, all right, bro. But all he's doing is standing there and talking. I'm like, cool, I'm gonna go have fun.
Yeah.
But me having fun, I'm loud.
Yeah.
So 5 minutes in, there's like a circle, and people are dancing and people are having fun. And I'm sitting there fucking taking shots. Fucking
I'm getting ready.
yeah. And then all of a sudden you hear, oh, and then I see the tall dude come over, and like, cause I see him first, right? He's a fucking giant.
Yeah.
He's like 6'4", 6'5". And then attached to his hip is her.
Yeah.
So they come through the crowd and like, what's going on? I'm there fucking pop locking, doing my thing and shuffling. And I was like, oh, okay, guys, come on in.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I don't dance. I just look good.
What?
And
Sounds like my dad.
I was like, okay, cool, bro, that's fine. I'm like, hey, you want to jump in? She's like, yeah, sure, let's go. And she's a live wire. She's a fucking stripper. Of course she dances.
Yeah, of course.
So she jumps in, she has fun, and she's like, oh, okay, so you're not a fucking loser.
You can dance, huh?
And I was like, all right, cool. So then my friend's set comes on, so we go downstairs and we go support him. And then now it's only people I know down there,
Yeah.
not just a bunch of random people. So now I'm saying what's up to everybody, and she's following me. She's like, oh, you know all these people? I'm like, yeah, dude, like these are all the people here.
I'm famous in
I'm like, I just happen to know everybody who's here to support my friend.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, this is this person, that's that person. And she's like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then she kind of starts slowly moving away from that guy. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
cool. I'm like, maybe I got a chance. No, it didn't work out.
Nah.
So I was like, maybe if I can get her to, be cool, me and her can like go to the side and talk, and then I could probably make up for, pretending to be VIP. I don't know what I did. You know what I'm saying? I was like, so I start getting her a couple of drinks, and then she starts dancing with this pretty little Asian girl who was someone else's girlfriend.
Ooh, lesbian.
And she starts making out with her,
Oh, for real lesbians.
and then starts grabbing up on her, like titties, ass, like
I ain't go there.
like all out. Like people were like just gawking, and I'm looking at this dude. I'm like, I promise you, bro, I have no control over that.
I don't know her.
Because he's staring at me.
Well,
He's like, get your fucking girl, bro. Like, what the fuck? And he like pulls them apart, and he's like talking to this little Asian girl, like, fucking, like, what the fuck are you doing?
See, that's what I thought was gonna happen when I kissed Diana.
So I'm like, so I can't really be like, hey girl, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
You know? So I was like, she's a stripper. Stripper's gonna do stripper shit.
Right? She's just being a little gay. Just let her do her thing.
Right? So I was like, hey, I'm not gonna knock your hustle. But then she becomes a homewrecker.
Oh yeah, you don't want to be in the car with that.
So she pulls her around us, and the little Asian girl's like, no, I'm tired of him. I'm trying to have fun. He's over here. I'm not even doing anything. So we just kiss. I was like, yeah, it's not a big deal. It's whatever. It's 2019. But it's not, not a big deal. And she was like, no, it's because like, and then she goes into like deep relationship stuff. And then she was like, fuck that guy. Break up with him right now.
Oh my.
And I'm like, we're not involved in this.
I'm not gonna see this person tomorrow.
Yeah, like we're not like these are drunk ideas. I'm like, I'm sober, so I'm like, no, this is like, you should think about this before. Like, she's like, yeah, I'm gonna break up with him right now, right? And what did she do? She broke up with him.
Terrible.
And I'm just like, oh no. So they
terrible.
went out to the side, handled their dirty laundry, and she went right back into party mode.
That's I always envied girls that could do that. Now
Like
that-
she burned somebody so hard, and then they're just like, she's like, oh no, I'm having fun.
I'm just gonna go dance when I'm done breaking your heart.
Yeah, legit. And I was like, that was impressive.
That's I can't do that. I'm too much of an emotional creature. I'm gonna be mad the rest of the motherfucking day probably.
It was impressive. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, wow, that didn't phase her at all. Either it like missed her completely, or she was just like, no, don't care. The party was over. We're cleaning up. We see poor little Asian girl on the side. Everybody's leaving, crying. Homeboy left without her.
Dang.
Yeah. And now I'm just like, oh.
I would have did that too. Well, you can find your own way home, bitch.
I was like, damn. I was like, am I responsible also?
Yeah. Because
By association?
you're the sober party. Yeah.
By association, I was like, fuck. I was like, okay, well, this turned into like not a good thing. So I like, we went up to this little Asian girl and she's like, she explained to us all her dirty laundry, everything he ever did wrong. And we're just like, I was
Trying
like,
to justify it.
I was like, well, what can I can't tell you nothing, man. Like, I can't, he's not even here to like fight for himself. Like,
I'm the worst at giving relationship advice.
and she's like, no, good for you. Like, you should have left that fucking
They're all
asshole.
drunk,
It was bad, dude. I was like, okay, well, and after that whole situation, I was like, okay, we both kind of have the same thing going on. Like, we both have very wild personalities, but you're in a mind state where shit always tends to go your way.
Yeah, that's not as a female, you don't want to be around that.
Yeah, I was like, okay, so I probably can't do this. So I already saw the red flags and I was like, all right, I'm just going to cut my losses.
Yeah.
So I'm walking her back to her car because I'm a fucking gentleman, right? And she's like, hey, do you need a ride back to your car? I was like, yeah, sure. And she's like, here, let me get comfortable. And she's like taking off her little skirt. Of course, she has extra clothes in the car and extra shoes.
Being a hoe in the car.
And of course, I'm just like, I don't care.
I'm going to watch.
I know, I didn't even watch.
Oh, no?
I gave her the, like, I don't give a fuck. Like,
I'm going to watch you.
I legit looked forward. She changed out of her little mini skirt thing and then like put on like some sweatpants that she had back there and like some stilettos. And yep, she drove in high heels.
I can't. Yeah, that's a different breed. She's cut from a whole different cloth.
She's a stripper. She was like a stripper.
Oh yeah,
stripper.
I keep forgetting she's. Yeah, I couldn't do that.
Yeah, like she's legit a stripper. So I was like, okay, cool. And sure enough, like she's like, so when are we gonna hang out again, or do you want to come over? I was like, nah, I think I'm gonna go home. And she was just like,
that's gonna be being shut down like that.
Like she legit was like, okay, so that's it. I was like, yeah, I had fun. We should hang out sometime. And she was like, okay. And she drove off.
That's crazy.
Never talk to me ever again.
Girls that are privileged like that, like from their looks, it's sad. I don't want to say I'm privileged from my looks. Like I don't notice it like that, but I do notice it when somebody is jealous of it. And that's fucking weird. Like, I mean, maybe for a stripper, it might be different. I was working at a warehouse. And it was my first and only warehouse job I've ever had. So obviously I'm not Mexican enough. So I'm there. I don't speak a fucking lick of Spanish. And they're all talking shit about me. They call me their little black girl in Spanish. I'm like, I understand that, assholes. So I don't know dress code, things like that. I like to fucking I was looking cute back then. I like to wear a lot of cute shit then.
Okay, that's fair.
So I'd go in like leggings or sometimes that'd be basketball shorts, but I got some junk in the trunk.
Well, I would say that's the black and Mexican in you.
Yeah, it definitely is. So
them genetics, they be popping.
I just know one day I showed up and I guess she's like the hiring manager, I guess.
Okay.
She comes up to me and all the other girls and she starts staring at me and she was like, all of you need to know the dress code. And she's the whole time she's looking at me.
Staring at you.
She's looking at me. And she was like, no leggings.
She might as well just said Anieshka.
Yeah, right? And I remember looking at her like, excuse me, bitch. Like, fuck. So then one of the girls that was there with me, she's super fucking down. She's way older than me. She's like another mom to me. She tells her, why the fuck are you looking at? She called me Kanishka.
Why are you looking at Kanishka,
She's
bro?
like, why the fuck you looking at Kanishka? Talk to Oliver. I'm like, that's right, bitch. Get my back. And then like 3 days later, the hiring manager comes up to me. She's like, I don't feel like you're a good fit for this job.
Oh, no.
And I was like, I'm folding boxes, bro. Like, what the fuck am I with? Huh? Like, my job was literally to fold boxes. That's it. That's how am I not a good fit? I didn't have to do anything else. Like every now and then I'd have to move the boxes because it was like a line of what's that called? Like products. So I would just have to move the box out of the way. I wouldn't even fucking tape them closed. That's all I do. I just tape them.
And she just had issue with the way you dressed.
Yeah. And she's like, you don't dress. You never dress right. And your hair is always down. And one day it's going to get stuck in the machines. I'm like, my hair was in a fucking ponytail when she told me this. I'm like, oh, it's my black girl curl, isn't it? She was like, well, I just don't like how you look anymore. It's not working for us. It's just
No write up, no nothing.
Nothing.
Just termination.
Bye. Because I was there with what's that called?
Agency?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
was
bullshit.
so fucking mad. So then I was like, whatever, I go home. And like a few days later, the actual boss of the place, because I was one of the very few people that spoke English, so they wanted to keep me. She calls me up. She's like, we don't want to let you go. You know, you're a good fit for here. I was like, yeah, well, that Rosa girl was like, you don't look good here. That's what she said. That's what she said.
I would have just been like, to me, she was just calling me a hoe, and I was offended.
I was super offended.
That's fucked up.
So then
I've never had that happen.
It felt weird to be singled out because I simply looked
attractive.
I don't want to say attractive because I feel like that's conceited. I want to say maybe a little more elevated than the others because I mean I'm just wearing basketball shorts and some leggings.
That is a little strange.
It's not special. I mean it might look a little better on me.
It might fill out a little bit better.
It just felt weird to like. And then one time when I was working, I can't say the name of this one. It's too big of a chain. I was my first job.
Right.
I wanted to work in the kitchen. I didn't want to be a food runner anymore. Like I didn't want to take the food to like other people's tables. And I told my boss, I was like, oh, I want to work in the kitchen. And he looks at me, he's like, oh, well, you're too pretty for that.
Oh shit.
What the fuck does my face have to do with the grill, man? Like,
oh shit.
that shit sucks, dude. Like people don't think about that.
Oh yeah, being a female must suck, dude. That's what I'm saying. This OnlyFans thing must suck.
Yeah, especially for girls because the way people
like if you do a feet profile, right? You never show your face and it's only your feet.
Yeah.
Unless you have like a foot tattoo.
I don't.
Then you might never get found out. But if someone knows that you have a OnlyFans, they might find your personal page. Like it's happened, and they might message you on the side like, "Hey, if you don't send me nudes for free, I'm gonna send these to your boss."
Just do it.
Right. The
boss.
crazy part is when teachers or professionals have an OnlyFans.
Yo, that shit gets crazy, dude. Because it'd be like female teachers just looking like regular teachers, and you see them on their fans page, you're like, whoa, that's a teacher.
Okay, I can see why, because they get paid trash.
Oh yeah, and especially with COVID going on, it's probably a little easier to do it right now.
Oh, of course. Like there's probably so many teachers right now that have OnlyFans that are like, hopefully next semester I can just delete this whole thing and no one will ever know.
That's just I don't know. We'll see. I fucking stubbed my toe the other day. I cut my fucking foot, so I'm waiting for that to fucking heal now. I swear, every time I get there,
have you passed it by Victor yet? Or
he doesn't think I'm gonna do it.
He's like, you're not down, bro. You're not down.
Like,
you're not down.
He doesn't know that eventually, one day, when I have confidence, I will come up to him and say, I'm gonna put lube on my feet and your penis, and we're gonna fucking put this up, okay?
He's what?
I've never done that.
What?
I've never done that, but we gonna try it.
The paralyzing fear that's gonna happen. He's like, what are you doing? Why is it? Stop. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, he might freak out a little bit because I don't always like get grabby like that. So he's like, no, wait,
stop. Wait.
What are we doing? Where are you putting the camera up?
He's like, come here.
It's gonna be.
He's like, we can do this the easy way, or we could do this the hard way.
The captions rape. Like, it's just my foot. That'd be terrible. He's just like, he doesn't think I'm gonna do it. I don't blame him. I have like so much stuff I'm working on right now. Like I have technically it's 3 books. No, 4. I'm technically working on.
That's
4
what
books.
I've been wanting to ask you about. Okay, so don't tell me the premise or the plot of these stories, but how did you get started writing? Because I know you used to write poetry.
Okay, so the very, very, very first story I ever wrote that I can remember was in like the 4th grade. Okay. And it was about like some kid wakes up one day and his parents are gone and there's these aliens in the house and the aliens just murdered the parents. There's this big shootout. There's all this blood and guts and gore. There was so much in it. I don't even remember what the fuck the story's plot actually was. But my teacher got a hold of the story.
Oh shit.
And she called my mom.
Of course.
And I don't remember this conversation. But I guess what happened was she was on speakerphone because it was for me. So I heard the whole thing. She's like, well, I think your daughter might be a little disturbed. And she might need some help. Like, I know her dad just got sick, so maybe something's wrong. And I remember crying. I do remember crying.
Shit.
And she's like, Mom was like, why are you crying? I was like, because what I wrote was wrong. And she was like, if you're not pissing somebody off, then are you really a writer? That's what she tells me.
Oh, I guess that's true, right?
And I was like, all right, Mom. So you like what I did, huh? And she was like, just write. Who gives a fuck? Just fucking write. And then after that, it was mostly poetry, just because adolescence is just so emotional. So
yeah, you got to get that shit out one way or the other. If guys, it's usually violence. Women, it's usually like some type of creativity.
it was definitely, yeah. And it was like, I think I struggled a little bit with poetry because once I started like seeing how poems are technically structured.
Oh yeah, there's like a structure for everything.
Threw me the fuck off. I was like, this is fucking trash. I can't do that. And then
there's a formula.
Yeah, one
it's
day
weird.
I was high as fuck and I was making fun of Victor. I don't know what happened. Victor Fury came alive. That was the first book idea, which has now been changed into the Red Heart. The Fury of the Red Heart. That's what it's called now. It was originally Victor Fury and the Fury of the Red Heart, but I didn't like how that sounded. I was just stoned when I came up with that. That book is technically done, but it's so unorganized and I have to like go back and fix all that shit. And then I don't know, most of my ideas just kind of come from like random shit.
Is most of your stuff romance or fictional or both?
100% fictional always. Any place is better than here.
Oh, that's true. That's always that's the thing.
Like one of them it's called The Light of Zelia, and it's a love story between the Greek god Apollo and his life force.
Okay.
And I wouldn't say, if I wasn't writing on the app that I write on, it'd be more fiction action.
What app are you writing on?
It's called Episode.
Is this like a comic book kind of a deal, or is it like
no, I'm not that talented. I'm not that talented.
What's the app?
It's got avatars and shit like that. It's a Choices Matters app. It's an interactive app.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so I have to make choices and they matter. Oh, did you fucking brush your hair in this episode? No, so now your fucking date's gonna think you're trash. That type shit. So it's like, it's pretty fun. And yeah, that's what they look like. They're really awesome, to be honest. There's more than one style. I'd say like more of the life looking styles.
Like more realistic?
Yeah, those are the ones, because there's Limelight, Ink, and Classic, and I do Limelight, and that's the more realistic one.
So you write a story, right? And then they give you options. Like if does someone read it and then give you the options, or do you make the options?
I make the options.
You make the options.
So like, let's say the episode, like, because it's called episode because you can release it in chapters, but we call them episodes.
Okay.
Because it almost plays like I'd say like a funny movie, I guess you could say, like a weird interactive movie. And let's say, okay, so the last scene I wrote was, you get to finally kiss your love interest, and I give you the option to kiss him a little longer or make him want more. This particular choice doesn't matter,
right?
But it's a choice that you can make. Some people will make them matter. So like, let's say I made it matter and they make him want more. Later on down the line in another chapter, there will be repercussions from that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the coding can get pretty crazy.
So do you find it easier to write a story like for this app, or do you feel like you write a story and then fit it to the app?
A little bit of both.
How so?
Okay, so I have another one called Moonstruck, and that one was supposed to be a book.
Because to me, since I have like difficulties with organization, this seems like a rabbit hole, right? Because you have like options like tomorrow. Because in a story, it's like a straight line.
Yeah.
Rarely it gets broken up and then at the end it all comes together. So if you have a story, like I want to write a comic book, like I already have a comic book character like in my head.
Yeah.
There's like a straight storyline.
Yeah.
Like it goes like, yeah, you can give him backstory, and then as he gets older, then the mid story and the end.
Correct.
But in this scenario, you could write the beginning of the story, and then every single option gives you a new pathway to make it different.
Branches off. Yeah.
So doesn't that make it harder for you to keep a plot?
It does if you're a bad writer. If you don't write stuff down, because I have had to learn the hard way. If you don't write things down, write your ideas down outside of doing this, you'll lose what you're doing. Most of my choices do not matter. So my stories in particular don't branch off as far as coding in like these crazy ways. Once I start making them matter, because I do want to, because I want to get paid by this app, that's when it'll get really complicated. Like I'm reading this story, it's called Under You. And in the beginning of the story, you fall in love with this dude and you're like, fuck yeah, this is the one. And then you find out that you're supposed to be married to his brother, but you don't know that they're brothers until after you've fucked the other dude too. Yeah, it just gets crazy. And I feel bad for this writer because every single one of her choices matters. So in the previous episode, if I didn't choose to sleep with that person and I go into the new episode, I got a whole different story
than what you did
if I had slept with him.
Damn, that's a lot of fucking coding.
Dude, so I have not made my choices matter yet, but I am getting there.
That sounds like a lot of work.
It's really fun. It's a lot of fun.
It seems like a lot of work. But hey, sometimes fun can be work and work can be fun.
It's tedious, that's for sure, because you have to code every.
So what does it, I'm assuming this is it, right?
Correct. That right there is mostly just like
the intro.
Because you can only write on a desktop or a laptop. They used to have a phone like part where you could write on the phone, but they don't.
But no longer.
Yeah. So this is mostly just an introduction to what you're about to start doing when you start writing.
Oh, is this application focused more on the creative putting out content, or is this for more focused towards people trying to consume content?
I think creative. I do.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I think it adheres mostly to writers more than readers. I don't know. I don't have a lot of followers.
Because this feels to me like a smaller version of a video game. I thought the same thing, and to some extent it is. The only difference is, like, as a reader, I'm not making them walk across the screen, or the only thing I'm doing is tapping to click through speech bubbles. That's about it. All the animations and stuff is completely done by the writer. Yeah. It's actually not that bad. I like it a lot. I make my own covers. That's a lot of fun to do. So I would have to download the app to be able to show.
The last time I heard somebody talking about, like, you would have to download the app, but you're not going to be able to get it on your laptop. It's only for your phone.
Oh, that's not fun.
No, it's not.
Because I would want to be able to read anywhere.
Well, you can read on your phone, but you're going to have to read, like, the last time I heard somebody, because I wanted Victor to give me some feedback on my story called Moonstruck. And he's like, yeah, I'll go ahead and download the app. And then he tells me that he has to read like 20 chapters of another story before he can unlock the user stories, because there are stories that the app puts out and there are user stories, which is what I put out basically. And they make you read episode stories before you can access them.
Oh, that's not fun.
That's new, because when I first downloaded the app, you didn't have to do that.
Well, I'm not big on reading, right? Because it's right. It's just not something I do for pleasure. I should probably change that. I only do it when it's something interesting or when it's something that I need to learn or something that I have to do. I don't go look for, like, maybe comic books.
Yeah, comic books are fun. You might like webtoon.
So that's what I was going to bring up, right? Have you considered making a webtoon?
I have, but I'd have to get into contact with somebody who does digital art. So really good digital art. Because
that's not hard. So let's go to Fiverr.
That's commissions, though.
Yeah, if you can, honestly, it's not that bad.
I'm gonna show you my first fucking Fiverr commission right now. Let me get this out. I'm not gonna say nothing.
Okay, well, let me see. So you need a digital artist.
Correct. Is it screenshots? It might be downloads.
Right.
It's not downloads.
All right. All right. So what do we have here? We have $25, starting $15, $50. I'm assuming these are for single art pieces, right?
Yeah.
So depending, right? So let's see if we can get a webtoon, digital artist webtoon, maybe web.
The first webtoon story I read, I'm not even done with it.
Oh, bingo. Here we go.
It was what inspired my Greek god story. It was about Hades falling in love with the girl he traps in hell with him by giving her the seeds. But it's a different twist on the story, and she reciprocates the feelings.
Okay. So on Fiverr, what I just pulled up right now, I will draw a comic book and manga illustrations for your book or webtoon, starting at $10, $5,
That's not bad.
15, 35, 10, 60, and some of this stuff looks good. Pick one. Look up. All right, so these are our options. Okay, 5. Pick an art style that you like that pops out.
I would say maybe.
Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Okay.
You passed it.
Oh, go back up. Okay.
That dark one right there.
This one?
Next to it.
This one.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what this person's got. All right, so I will draw your OC or idol fan art in my manga webtoon style. This is some of their work. Okay. Oh, well, let's see if we can make this full screen.
Oh my God. I got to show you comparing it to this shit right here. I wish I could find the damn commission I did. Maybe it's in my Instagram. Because I got this fucking commission and.
So this is pretty decent. Look.
I hated it. It was. You're going to fucking laugh at mine. Watch.
Show me.
It looks so bad. Let me go into the messages. Oh my God. She fucking deleted her shit? No, she didn't.
What happened?
I thought she deleted her profile. Here's my commission.
Oh.
Right?
Oh, no.
It's terrible. And I still put it in my story because I still fucking paid for it.
That's true. Okay, so for the people who can't see, it's a picture of a man holding a woman, and it's not the worst art I've ever seen.
Which is why it's still in my story.
But I can already tell you they don't know how to do proportions.
No.
Dimension. They don't know how to do hands.
Shading.
The shadings, I've seen worse. Right?
You're
so
being
that's
so nice to her.
The faces look okay, but proportion dimension is really off. But
that's what makes the faces look scary.
Yeah. So how much did you pay for that?
$50.
Ooh.
And that was a hookup.
Ugh. Okay. I'm gonna send you this Fiverr link.
I have Fiverr.
Well, get back on it.
I don't know why I didn't give Fiverr a chance. I should have.
Because I just found a gang of people who specifically do what you want.
Milo told me about Fiverr,
Yes,
and I was
it
like,
is a
"Fuck
fucking thing.
yeah, that's awesome! It's like the best thing I've ever come across."
It is a thing, and
I think I did what I did because I knew the girl. Like my sister knows her.
Yeah, sometimes having friends is
also, but she also had like examples, and they didn't look that bad. They didn't look half that bad.
See, okay, the thing with artists, me in particular, we are bad at a lot of things, and then the things we are good at, we procrastinate. So maybe what have happened is that like you gave her time.
No, I told her to take her time. I said because I'm still working on this story.
Oh no.
So she had all the time in the fucking world.
Look, I'll tell you right now, a lot of times getting business involved with your friends, as much as you want them to pull through for you, they just don't sometimes.
Yeah, that was trash.
Right? Like, and it's not their fault, but you can't rely on them.
No, I would like to work with her some more when she gets better because I love her and I.
Right, you want to give someone a break, right?
It's truly not the worst.
It's not,
which is why it's still in my story.
It could be better.
It's definitely not something I could have done.
All right, let's just say if you knew now that you could have spent $10 on someone do all of your what's the average webtoon, 10 pages? Like 5?
I don't even know. I've only started reading 2 stories and I never get to the next one until like 4 days after I've already started it. It's pretty sad.
So if you would have known, right, that you pay, let's say $60, right, for your whole webtoon, right?
Okay.
They go, how many pages? You're like 12, 10, 15, 20. Let's do 20.
Let's do 20.
Right? They're like, okay, full color, black and white. What do you want?
Color.
Color?
Yeah.
An extra $10.
That's still like, as long as the quality.
But then it looks like
yeah.
Then
I won't say anything.
Then it looks like this.
I ended up, what happened was I reached out to, after this, I reached out to other episode writers because a lot of them
because this looks
art,
amazing,
but they're fucking so expensive. Some of them, some people charge like $180 for a fucking portrait. I'm like, what the fuck? You're drawing.
Yeah, it takes time.
Give me $100, man. Give me a discount.
But the good thing about Fiverr is that you can do that. You can hit them up, be like, hey, this is my budget. can you work with me? I really love your
I
style.
think I should just go on to Fiverr. I don't know why I had Fiverr prior to
So check this
I
out.
did.
So you heard my intro on the first podcast, right?
Yes.
I reached out to my friend who's a DJ, and I'm like, hey, bro, I need 30 seconds for an intro. Give me one of your, like, not best beats, but like put some elbow grease into it, you know?
Yeah.
I'll pay you. Name your price.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, sure. He never got back to me. I get it. He's a Twitch streamer. He works a full-time job.
Mm-hmm.
He's a DJ for fun, and he's still making music.
Yeah.
Right. And then on top of that, I added a commission, right? That he said yes to, but he never got back to me.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make my podcast. So I went on Fiverr, and no disrespect to him, I couldn't wait.
That's where you got your intro.
I went to Fiverr and I found,
dope too, though.
I looked up, I was like, okay, I don't want somebody cheap who's going to fucking not like fucking pull free samples from something else and then tweak it a little bit and be like, here you go. So I hit up this guy, and he's in the UK, and I saw his sample stuff, and then his sample stuff, I looked up the podcasts.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, the podcasts are solid. These aren't like fake. So I hit him up, and I was like, look, bro, this is my budget. This is what I need. He goes, cool, got you. I make podcast intros all the time.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool. I need this kind of style of beat. He goes, oh, I've never done that. I was like, cool, we'll work on it. I'll pay you for the revisions. Don't care. How much is it? He's like, it'll be like $250. I was like, cool.
Yeah.
I was like, because the way I think about it is, if you're a professional, right? If you're a photographer, you needed to buy the camera. You need to buy the lenses. That was about like $1,500 that you spent just to take someone's picture.
Yeah.
Right. For me to do this podcast, I needed this laptop, the mixer, the mics, everything.
You need everything. This whole
Right.
room.
So if I was to charge someone to be on the podcast, I need to charge them accordingly to what the equipment I need to run it.
Yeah.
So I need to think, he's a music producer. He needs the software. He needs the laptop. He needs a keyboard. He needs this and that. So $250 sounds about right.
Yeah.
And then I've already seen his quality work, so I gave him the job. He gave me the first revision. I didn't like it. I was like, look, bro, it's good.
Yeah.
Not what I'm looking for. Try again. Change this and this. Try it again.
See, that's awesome. I feel like she did reach out to me with the art. She was like, I'll show you it before I like completely finish and put my watermarks on it. And I'm like, okay. So she did show it to me before she set it in stone. But I feel like the particular issues is just how she draws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes time.
And I want to keep using her because I absolutely love her. She's the only of all the artists that I've actually reached out to, because she wasn't the only one. She's the only one who responded.
Oh,
yeah.
gotcha.
So I was like, oh, fuck. All right, let's just do this. But I also didn't take Fiverr into consideration, because the very first time I ever looked at Fiverr, the first art commissions I came across were like hand drawn, and they were just definitely only worth $5. But
it can get expensive, but
I believe it.
So check this out. You got to think as a business person, right? Like, you want to think about this. How are you going to run it? So let's say you do want to do, because this app seems like it's going to put you through some hurdles.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If you have fun and if you find an avenue to make what you're doing happen and get paid, great. But if they're making it hard and you see like a very small window of entry, might want to try other avenues, right?
Yeah.
Because there's the traditional book that most people don't read, right? You need to get picked up by a publisher, and then they publish you, and then they distribute it, and then they take their giant chunks out of your revenue.
I'm trying to just do this on my own.
Right?
Yeah,
It's hard.
Yeah.
And then there's webtoons, right? Like, you have a solid story, but it's a tune, so you need images to go with it. So you need to partner up with some type of an artist or hire an artist. So you can reach out to these artists and be like, hey, I have this dope story. I need to partner up with somebody. I know you're commission based. So how would you feel about, I give you the story, you draw it, we publish it together 50-50 on everything.
That'd be awesome.
All you need is them to agree to it, send them a contract, sign it over, done deal.
But I don't know how to share.
I know, right? So here's where the other part comes into play. You can be like, I just need your skills, how much to do this project.
Yeah.
And if you do such a good job and it does well, I will come back for you for the next one.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for an artist to stay loyal to, because I see a lot of the episode writers that have way more followers.
This is going to sound super funny, but one of the biggest industries I've seen that happen, where two completely different people of different, like a writer and an artist, come together and do something consistently and make money together,
yeah,
is in porn. in hentai and in like what is it like adult cartoons,
Yeah.
you will see at the very bottom drawn by such and such, story by such and such.
I'm gonna go look at that shit.
And then like DeviantArt and like all these little places that publish these, they don't publish them, but where you're allowed to post them.
Yeah.
You can read the first episode, but then you have to go to their Patreon.
No, yeah.
And then if you want to read the entire story, and these same people are still working together, making money.
Oh, maybe I should start posting to Patreon.
As long as you get like a following, as long as your following starts to build up.
For now, I'm just trying to establish my following.
Because, okay, let's say this person works out, right? They get better. And then you go, I really like your art style. It works for me. Like, we'll go 50-50. Or if you don't want to do 50-50, you buy them out as long as you give them the work, right? But like, your name will be on the cover, but all rights are mine.
Yeah.
Right? And they know this. And as long as they're cool with it and they get a paycheck, most people don't care.
Yeah.
Then you can publish the webtoon to YouTube for free, right? All you need to do is publish it to YouTube. It's the same thing. People read YouTube videos.
Have you read anything on Webtoon?
I have. I read Lore Olympus.
Does anything get adulty?
Yes.
Okay, because that's
it doesn't get super, super spicy, but I'm sure it does. Let's find out. Let's go on this journey.
My strong point is smut. It is. I hate it. I discovered it with my book, the Fury of the Red Heart. I have a lot of.
Well, okay, so then you can just move it to Patreon.
Yeah, I guess so. That Fury of the Red Heart will not go on.
Like, how would you feel, right? You read like something good, like it has a good beginning, right? Starting to get spicy. You starting to get interested, and then the next book is behind a paywall. You're like, well, fuck, I really want to finish this book.
I have a fucking app called Dream. I read their stories on there. Their stories are very adulty. I started reading it because I was like, okay, I need more.
Okay,
I need more words in my vocabulary.
I don't have that kind of a. Okay, so here are the styles, right? There's like drama. Let's see. Genres.
Okay, I see. Because I mean, obviously I'm not going to be, well, maybe not. I can't imagine them.
Romance? Would it be under romance?
Like, it would
mystery,
have a category that lets you know it's adult.
They have what is that? Informative. They have informative, horror.
Is that the time?
Yes.
Okay. Like 10 minutes.
Okay, so we're going to wrap this up. So, Anieshka, if and when you start publishing your books how you want to, where can people find you if they want to like learn more about you?
Well, for now, my Instagram.
You're like,
It's my Instagram. It's Aniee Rae Writes.
Okay.
That's where I post all my stuff. I just discovered I fucked up though. So the only story that's coming out in the next coming week will be The Door.
Okay. And that would be on your Instagram?
That will be on my Instagram.
Okay. And if they want to find you on episodes, what are you under?
Aniee Rae.
Aniee Rae. Okay.
Everything goes by my pen name. Everything goes by my pen name.
Okay.
I thought about Ultra Lady for a while because I go
Ultra Lady.
I have I won't say that. I thought about Ultra Lady for a while.
Okay.
My Discord name is Ultra Lady, and I really liked it, but I started publishing under Aniee Rae, so I was like,
you're like, meh.
I'll just keep it.
Meh.
Everything's Aniee Rae.
Yeah, you never know. Like, when
simple.
The shit is when it hits and you get like traction, you kind of have to stick with what you got.
Yeah. So I was like, I'll just keep it here. I've been going by Annie for like 10 years. I'm like, fuck it.
Okay. So Aniee Rae on Instagram and Aniee Rae on pages. And if they like your stuff, give is it a follow? Is it subscribe?
Subscribe, yeah.
Oh, is it?
I used to have a YouTube channel, but I don't have it. I mean, technically I still, but I don't post.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Start a podcast.
I want to.
Start a podcast.
I've been thinking about it.
Do it.
Especially with you doing this.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. Like, it's not hard. It's just like I went all out because I want to I want to do this as a profession.
I think it's awesome. I do. I like it. I've always wanted to do like VJ stuff and like.
Yeah, like it's fun. It's fun. The shitty part is when like your friends fuck you. Yeah. Like they're like, yeah, bro, we'll help you out. Like this shit isn't serious, bro.
Well, I don't have a job, so I got your back on.
Hey man, anytime you want to come over, let me know.
Technically, I write, but I just don't get paid for it yet.
Look, you're one of the few people on the planet that I find interesting as you being just a human being. All right, I'm gonna be real honest with you. A lot of people hit me up after that first episode that I haven't talked to in 15 years.
That's sad.
And they're like, bro, you're doing this. Let me get on.
Trash. Trying to fucking, let's put my name out there. Tag me in it too. Like, no.
I'm like, some people, I was like, you were never a dick to me. What do you do? Like, what's interesting?
Yeah.
Like, what do you, they're like, nothing. I'm a dad and I work. I'm like, okay, so what do you want to talk about?
Being a dad.
Like, we could catch up on old times. And I was like, that's cool for like the first 15 minutes.
Right? And then we
I'm
gotta
like,
have some other stuff.
I'm like, but why would my listeners want to listen to you?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I don't, because I'm funny.
Yeah. People we went to high school with suck,
I'm funny. I'm like, you're not being real funny right now.
There's not anybody here to laugh though.
No, like my jokes are so dry. And then people will tell me like, dude, that was funny. I was like, really? That was funny. I thought I was.
My jokes are the fucking truth. And you're like, oh my God, you're hilarious. I'm being fucking, I met this girl. Okay. Do you remember a girl named Karen?
No.
I don't really remember her. Okay. She claims that she went to school with us. I met her through somebody I used to work with 11 fucking years ago.
Okay.
And she's like, I used to go to high school with you, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't know you. This is at my fucking wedding. Okay.
Oh,
my friend brings her as a date. And I'm like, okay, whatever. She's like, you don't remember me? And I was like, no.
That's happened to me.
And she starts laughing. And I was like, girl, I do not remember you. And like, I'm being so serious. She's giggling. She's like, you're so fucking funny. And I was like, I'm being fucking serious, bitch. I don't know.
That's happened to me so many times.
That's terrible. I have, like right now, I have a terrible memory, okay? I don't remember my fucking kid's teacher's name. And I just met her like fucking 4 hours ago, bro. I'm not going to remember you from high school if you didn't serve a pivotal moment in my life.
If there's
like
not a solid memory like of you doing something for me or us doing something together, I'm not gonna fucking remember you.
Yeah, I don't remember a lot of people.
If we said what's up at lunch and then we never talked, I'm not gonna remember you. I'm like, no.
There's a lot. There's so many, especially with Victor because he was so popular.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. People are, hey Anishka.
Hi guy. I've never remember.
I won't say his name because he would fucking find some way to sue us. I know he would.
Oh no.
He was both of our bullies.
Oh,
yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
When he apologized to me, I'll never forget it. I was sitting in the back.
But I told you didn't believe me for the longest. He's such a nice guy. I'm like, he's a dick, Anishka. He's a dick. All right,
he's always been a dick.
All right, look, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Right, and I'll give you a specific instance, real fast, how much of a dick this guy was to me.
He's a very big dick.
So, he was a popular kid. Mm-hmm. And he was privileged.
Very.
Right. And people thought that of me, and I tried to tell them 100 times no.
Yeah.
Right. But this person proved, if they thought what I could do was privilege, right? Just because my parents bought my clothes.
Because they had jobs and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Then he was 100 times more privileged.
Oh, yeah. Big time, dude.
I used to, when I was allowed to buy my own clothes, I gravitated to Mark Echo because he was an artist. And he built his label from the ground up. And I was like, that's so fucking cool.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I was like, oh, that's so dope.
When he did Air Force One and shit.
Yeah. I was like, bro, that's still legend. Like, right? Fuck. So I remember I bought a shirt that was like super thick cotton, and it had like an embroidered chest piece.
Okay.
And I threw it to wash, right? And I'm like 15. I started doing my own laundry.
Yeah.
Right? So I didn't know that if you leave cotton inside the dryer for too long, it shrinks.
Oh, big time.
Right? So, and then this got the center crest.
So it got all funny probably.
Yeah, it got all wrinkled. And it's like a $30, $40 shirt, right? And I was like, oh. But I'm not going to tell my mom about it.
Yeah, of course. That's a fucking $30 shirt.
I'm going to wear it to school. So I bump into this gentleman who we both know. And he says something along the lines of like, "What's up, fat boy?" And I was like, I told him to fuck off.
Yeah.
And I guess it didn't tickle his pickle because his friends were there and they laughed because I had no space for it.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right. So I make it all the way to the portables. He follows me.
Oh, God.
And before I make it somewhere, he's like, "Annabelle, come here." I was like, "What do you want?" He's like, "Come here." So my dumbass fucking walked back. And he punches me in the chest. He goes, "Oh, you think you're bad?"
Oh my
I was like, bro, I'm like, if you want to fight, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm like, mind you, he's taller than me at the time. And
he had hands too. He did. I can't even lie. He did. I don't know how good they were, but I had seen them a few times, and he could throw down if he had to. If he had to.
But he had this notion that I couldn't fight.
No, yeah. And
so
you could then.
I could.
Yeah,
I just didn't want to because I knew it was an uphill battle. It wasn't something that I was gonna walk away from easily. So I was like, all right, whatever. I was like, today's the day then. Today I'm catching him with this dude. Fuck it.
Yeah.
So I was like, what's up? And he just assumed he was going to punch me in the chest. I was going to be like, don't hurt me, please.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, let's go. I'm like, you hit like a bitch. And he's like, oh, so you got some balls. I was like, yeah, let's go. I was like, there's no teachers here. What the fuck are you waiting for? Doesn't say shit. He's like, you're not worth my time.
I knew it. I feel like I've seen this.
And I was like, bro, you came over here. You stopped me from walking. You punched me in the chest and you call me a bitch. I eat it and you're not going to fucking swing back. I'm like, you're a fucking hoe.
I feel like I caught the end of that.
And he just walks away. And I was like, for real? I'm like, is this all it takes to stop bullying is to actually call them on their shit?
He's a trash person. I remember I was talking to somebody who hung out with him but didn't really care for him. And this person was my friend. And I remember I said something about him and he was like, I don't know why you're nice to him. He says such mean things about you. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, He's like, you remember that one day you hugged me and you walked away? And I was like, yeah. He was like, he called you like an ugly black girl or something like that.
Oh shit.
I was like, wow. So one day we're in the back house where we used to live and we're selling drugs. And I happen to have the drug of choice that this person likes.
Right.
And he starts telling me, oh, I'm sorry for being mean to you, you know. And I was like, oh, okay. So I'm cool enough now because you still got to pay. And I'll never forget his apology. I'm not the only person he's apologized to. I do know that.
But his apologies are like kind of half-assed.
I don't think it was genuine. He doesn't live out here anymore. And that's because he's bullied so many of us. He's afraid to bring her home. Whoever he's dating. I don't know if he's dating anybody, but for sure, if he is, he don't want to come back because
he might catch some hands or worse.
I think people will tell, like, let's say he brings home a girl, like he brings a girl down here.
And they'll let him know how much of an asshole he was or is. I don't know.
Yeah, I remember we were in the back room and I'm just going to tell the world I did cocaine. And
I don't mind.
We're doing coke and, this girl comes in. I don't know who she is, and he kind of just starts like putting things away. I was like, oh, okay, so you're a liar.
You're a good boy now,
right? And I'm not that kind of person to break code.
I would have fucking lit his ass up.
I like having things in my back pocket.
Oh, okay.
I do. So I was like, oh, okay. So I'm gonna do something for you. But when my time comes, he left. He didn't come back. He after this whole thing, he ended up moving up north, and now he like sells weed and shit. It's kind of it's cool what he's doing, whatever. I don't know, but
so I ran into him as an adult later on after high school, right?
Yeah, he's a trash adult.
So, well, I'm not. He didn't change much. So
he might be a little better now. Might.
So, I was big into the racing scene, and when I was like 22, I was living on my own. I had my own place, like just chilling. So I would go to the races, and gamble most of my paycheck.
Yeah.
Right. Try to make some money, whatever, because I was making shit money. So I see him there with a built Civic. Yeah. Right. And I had my little 4-door.
It was that little green one he had, right?
I think it was like green or like teal or something. Yeah.
I remember. Yeah.
But the build is more than I can afford at the time.
Mommy and daddy.
I knew it. Like I saw it and he raced somebody and he won. Yeah. I was like, that's cool. I didn't say anything. I was like, oh, that's that kid. Yeah. I was like, oh, that dude hasn't changed. Like I can hear him talking from here. He's a fucking asshole. I was like, all right. So it's me and my friend Sam, and we're talking about it, and we're like, we know him.
Yeah.
And he's talking to these guys, and he's talking himself into a ditch, right?
Yeah.
Because he just beat a fast car. The big boys are being completely quiet. The dudes who run for money, like they have thousands of dollars and will steal your shit, are listening.
Some Fast and Furious shit.
And they're walking up, and like one of them was driver B. He's like a local in Rialto sponsored races, has like 1,000 horsepower car. Like, oh, he only races like other super fast cars.
Yeah.
He walks over and he's like, it's a nice build. He's like, you want to run my boy? He doesn't know him. I know him.
Yeah.
I was like, hey. I walk over and I'm like, no, he doesn't want to run it. And he sees me. He's like, Hannibal? And he's like, yeah, it's me. Like, what? He's like, oh, what's up, man? How you been? Like, trying to fucking dap me
All
up.
of a
Like, we're
sudden,
friends.
they're homies, yeah.
I'm being really nice and letting you know you don't want none of that.
Oh yeah.
Like, you're a rich kid and you're privileged and you're a dick, but you don't deserve to get took for all you're worth tonight. Like, nobody
You
does.
should have just let it happen.
I should have, but I was like, nah, he doesn't want none of that. Because he was getting set up with a 500 horsepower turbo Integra, and it was stupid fast.
Yeah,
and he had an all motor K series car, which is like on a good day it makes like 230, like decently built. And that's like a few $1,000s in, right?
Yeah.
But that Integra made 500. There was no comparison comparing the two, even on a good day. And he was on like regular street tires. The other car was on slicks, and he's getting talked up because he's very prideful.
Oh yeah, he was.
So they're working him. They're like, your shit's slow, bro. Like, you don't got enough money to fucking do this shit.
You just think
Like,
it's better.
and then you start seeing him puff up his chest. He's like, what are you talking about? My Civic just beat that BMW, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, nah, bro, they're Integra over there. It's faster. Like, it'll fuck your shit up. All motor. I'm like, bro, how is that an all motor car? I can see the intercooler.
Yeah.
Like, you're not even looking. Like, you're not using your eyes.
I don't think he knows actual things. That he just, the last time I was around him, he had a Subaru. It was stock, but it was like one of their faster ones.
Yeah, the STI.
I'm not sure he looks into things like that.
When you have money, you kind of don't need to.
I don't think he does. Oh my God. I got to see his house. I did.
But the sharks smelled the blood. They're like, oh, this kid's got money. Like, he's young.
You could see it on him.
I was like, look, bro, real talk. You don't want it with that Civic. That Civic just took out a fucking Supra. Like, unless you can take out a Supra,
right?
then go for it.
I could do that.
And he was just like, yeah, bro, I don't feel like running it tonight, whatever. And then he follows us and starts chit-chatting us up and like, oh, you're like, how you been? I was like, not saying shit. He's talking to my friend Sam.
Yeah.
I want nothing to do with it because I'm just like, should I just crack this guy?
He was terrible.
So, and he's like, oh, what do you drive? I was like, oh, I drive this 4-door Civic. He's like, is it fast? I was like, no. I'm like, it's a 4-door Civic. He's like, oh, well, you know, it could be fast. And I just got done having a race with another single cam car, which is more or less in my range.
Yeah.
I knew he didn't know shit about cars because he wanted to race that car. And I was like, bro, that's like 150 horsepower difference between mine and yours. And the weight difference, I knew the setup was wrong for me. But I was like, do you want to run it for fun? And he's like, yeah, sure.
He's terrible.
So we ran it for fun. I got him first, second, and part of third gear because he's a shitty driver.
He's terrible.
And I was like, yeah, the car's really fast, but you're grandma shifting and I don't know what to tell you. He goes, oh, you must have a lot done to that engine. I was like, bro, I'm stock.
You suck.
I was like, bro, I make 130 horsepower. I'm like in a 4-door Civic.
I think he has, like having hanged out with him because of drugs. I think he has an addictive personality. And I think he would just try things because the people around him were fucking doing it already.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
And yeah, because...
But it's dangerous, man. You can't fuck with sharks like that.
He don't give a... I'm honest to God. That's something he does regularly. And I'm surprised he has not gotten his fucking ass kicked. And I feel like it's only because he has money.
I don't know if that would still count nowadays. Like, I know fucking murderers,
Maybe.
like fucking killers.
Because I know when Victor realized that he was my bully, he was like, he doesn't have to come around if you don't want to. And I was like, that's money.
That's facts, right?
That nigga got a problem. Let him keep coming.
Like, he's a crackhead. I don't know. What are you talking about?
No, he doesn't do that. I know of this stuff anymore. I'm not trying to get him in trouble like that. If somebody puts this together, but
Wouldn't be that hard.
No, it wouldn't. There's so many of us.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like.
There's gonna be a lot of people watching this, and they're gonna know exactly who we're talking about.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He was.
He's a dick.
I know a lot of us got an apology. Don't know if it was real.
Not me. I didn't get one.
I did. I was surprised at it. I was like, yeah, right.
I was like, he just casually thought since we were older and we were out of high school, I didn't give a fuck. Like, he talked up to my friend Sam, like, because they never had issues.
That was probably about the time that he was messing around with me and Victor. So yeah.
So I was just like, nah, I'm not having it, bro. Sorry.
He was on a very high horse then.
But I will say this. I'm like, you can't live that way, because I know that I bumped into people who I'm like, oh, this person's like 2 words away from like literally stabbing somebody.
Oh yeah, I think that he has toned down a lot. He doesn't even post to social media anymore.
Oh, that's interesting. That's not what I would have imagined.
Yeah, he doesn't. It's hard to find him, to be honest with you. And I think it's
That's why.
because of people like us. I do.
I can see that because nowadays people like crucify you for being.
Oh yeah, cancel culture.
Like you'll get fucking destroyed on social media if you're like that.
Whatever rock he's under, when it moves, I'm fucking ready.
Remember that one time at that one place with them one peoples?
Like I ain't shit. I'm just trying to be a writer that supports myself. So if somebody finds out I did cocaine.
Honestly, what is it? Hunter S. Thompson.
That sounds familiar.
You don't know Hunter? You know Hunter S. Thompson. You know Hunter S.
Maybe I was thinking of. I thought you were gonna say Hunter x Hunter.
That's an anime. It's a dope animation.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. To be honest with you.
Hunter S. Thompson. You know Hunter S. Thompson. He's
okay.
He's a famous writer.
There you go. Okay.
He's a famous writer.
Yeah.
Who notoriously had the craziest addictions. Like he did everything.
I think that's crazy.
So much so that they made a movie.
Yeah, that's
of not of his writing that was good. But just
him.
of his addictions, and it was called Fear and Loathing.
That shit's bomb as fuck, though. That's
So
all you had to say. All you had to say.
But so I'm just saying, you can actors are characters.
I don't think he wants to be an actor though, or I don't think he's ever gonna have a memoir either. Like I just think he's just.
Well, his stories are gonna just people who knew him, you know.
He's the reason I'm freaking out about my baby. I gotta make my baby's not gonna have no siblings, so I gotta make sure he picks his friends correct.
Well, you gotta fuck up first.
Stay away from those ones.
Don't worry about the choices you made with like substances. Like,
don't worry about how cute they are. If you find them attractive.
What I am gonna tell you though is start a podcast.
I want to
post finish one project, post them in different places, right? Like your episodes. Start a webtoon, right? Yeah. Put them on webtoons and then put them on YouTube.
I've been thinking, because I see some writers, they get really fucking mad when people record their playthroughs and then put them to YouTube. But I was like, what if I just fucking do it myself and then I just get people reading it?
Yeah.
And then I just don't finish posting it. And then I'm like, well, now I got to go read the whole thing.
Yeah. That's totally a way to do it. Really good way to do it. What I do, I'll with this podcast, I have to make a small trailer to condense it, right? I'll take the funniest bits or interesting words that like, oh my God, he's gay. And then I'll just cut to the next thing.
That's going to be it.
Yeah. And then you'll just cut to the next thing and be like, wait, what was the conversation context? Like, what the hell? And then go to the next one and be like, oh my gosh, she deep throated so hard. And you're just like, what? And then it will jump to the next thing and be like, oh my God, it was so sad when he passed away.
Yeah, see, I've made trailers. I have for my little stories and stuff. And I record my gameplay or whatever. And I'll show him to Victor. And he's like, I don't know, why the fuck you don't just do this? Like, for now, what's coming up next for me for a new project, Victor's going to start recording himself at the gym. And I'm going to start editing and putting music with it.
Oh, nice. Like inspirational stuff.
And because I do that.
Do it.
I'm going to do that.
I tell everybody, I'm like, I will support you in anything you do as long as this doesn't hurt other people. You're good. I got you. But I would love for me to be able to see your writing, because I feel I've seen your poetry. It's really good.
I haven't written, actually I take that back. I have written the last poem I wrote. I can talk about this because I told Victor, okay. It was a poem and it came out as a letter and it was to my ex.
Oh.
And I was like, it was so fucking good. And it was like one of the best pieces I've ever fucking written in my whole fucking life. And it was like fucking 6 fucking pages.
God damn.
Right. And I showed it to Victor. He didn't read it. And I was like, I want to give this to him. Like, I want to give this to my ex. And he was like, fucking do it. So
did you do it?
I did.
Oh, how'd that go? Oh, not well.
I'm proud of myself for apologizing.
Okay. It takes a big person to do that. To sincerely do that.
I was very big about it. I was like, I'm sorry I did this. I'm sorry I lied. All that good shit, whatever. Mm-hmm. I ain't get no sorry back.
Oh, he's just like, oh, thanks.
Oh, you're perfect, huh? It was like, but it felt good though. It really did. It was to this day, one of the best writing pieces I still have it because I was like, I'm not getting rid of that shit. And that's posted on another project that I have. I don't really talk about that project because technically it's anonymous.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
but
now
it's out there.
Now the world knows.
They just don't know
Where, who, why.
Yeah.
Well, they know the why now.
But it was awesome. It was cool. And then like I still write like poetry, but it's mostly like smutty. It's really like we're having sex in the shower type shit. Like
So that's not even that bad. Honestly.
The poetry is not that bad.
No, the sex in the shower is not that bad. Like it's like that's mild. Let's be real.
My novel, I have to put like a very serious like trigger warning for it.
Some R words.
There's like it gets pretty bad, and that's where I realized I could write like that. I was like, oh shit, this is
serious.
It's scary, but it's cool because I was like, I didn't know I had that in me because I didn't even finish 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh,
I read half of it and I was like,
that's so weird that's people's awakening. So strange.
It was too much for me.
Really?
Like, I'm not saying I wouldn't do stuff like that, but I didn't like reading it. I don't know why.
It seems a little bland that way.
It just
you have to have a grand imagination.
It has to
kind of be new to you. Like if you're already in it, you're just like, I've done better.
Maybe that's why.
Like that's not that. Like
I just didn't care for it. I just remember I got pretty close to the end. I don't know. And I just threw it in my fucking hamper and left it there. I never touched it again.
Don't even know the ending.
I don't. I fucking don't. One day the movie came out and I was like, fuck it. I'll watch the movie to know the ending. And there's something they describe in the book a lot is when the main female character bites her bottom lip. It's supposed to look like fucking sexy. This bitch looked like she was trying to gnaw on her fucking chin. I was like, I'm not watching this. So I've never seen the movie. I don't know how it ends. I don't know why there's more than one book.
I saw one of the movies.
Oh, it's trash.
It was not good.
As
a kinky person myself, like I was like, this is like diet free diet ice cream. Like this is so bad.
It's like vanilla with no sugar.
That's like someone telling me like, hey man, this ice cream is good for you. And you get excited because they tell you it tastes exactly the same as the regular ice cream. And then you try it and you're just like, you lied to me.
Fucking raisins in it or some shit. It was trash.
It was so bad.
I never, like I said, I didn't make it past the part of the first one when she's gnawing on her fucking chin. I saw that. I was like, no.
I don't know how it got sequels. Is there more books?
There's 3 books total, I think.
I don't know how I got it. Maybe that's a movie per book.
The main female actress. I love her. She's awesome. Why the fuck are you gnawing on your chin, man? She's terrible. I don't know.
Maybe she's not used to doing kinky shit. So she was like, this is going to be so sexy. I never do this.
It was like an adult version of Twilight.
Fuck that movie. I have still yet to finish that series. I purposely started it so I can knock it off and be like, okay, I was right for hating it. Right. I got to the second movie. I still can't finish it.
Movie 1 and parts of movie 2 are my favorite movies to watch when it's raining outside and I don't want to pay attention to the TV. Like
just to hear the soundtrack.
I just have it on. That's
just
it.
The soundtrack.
Yeah, that's it. Like Victor laughs at me because I'm like, it's my go-to bad movie. I don't mind it being on in the background, but I won't watch that. I love Kirsten Stewart, but the Twilight movies are not her strong suit.
No, I can't. Not with any of them. None. And then terrible. What's his face is Batman now? Oh,
right. Oh my God. Okay. So we have so many adaptations of Batman and Joker. I'm always ready for the new one. I'm always ready to give him a chance.
Yeah.
Not this one. I want to, but I don't know if I can.
When they said that he was going to be the new actor, I was like, wait, so you're going to get a pouty vampire to play a bat person who's supposed to be the most lethal person in the entire universe who has 0 superpowers?
Mad charming and shit. Like, you're tripping.
I'm like, I can't see him pulling one female being a super actor, let alone being a billionaire and being like a cocky playboy.
Yeah, he's not it. It's not it for me, especially after having Ben Affleck.
But you know what? I don't know his acting chops. For all I know, he's never gotten a role that he needs to dig deep.
He does amazing in Harry Potter. You don't even know that he was fucking in Twilight and Harry Potter.
He died. He died so fast.
You know what? If you read the book, you would appreciate his
character. Okay, he's going from like an angsty teenager who's a wizard to like an angsty vampire who's a teenager.
technically he's not a teenager.
Well, he's supposed to be like a grown ass man,
He's
but
pretending to be one.
right.
I don't know. He was terrible. He was just not my cup of tea.
I don't know.
Vampire wise, I want to give him a chance. Not with Batman, but I do want to give him a chance.
I could see him as Robin.
I could see a Robin out of him. I could.
If they told me, right, like this is Batman, but after he died, he took up the mantle, I'd be like, pass. Okay, that's fair. That's totally fair. New Batman, different storyline. Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see the boy wonder, trying to fill in the shoes, living in a shadow of like a great figure, but not as a standalone Bruce Wayne. I don't see it.
Yeah, it's just like, he always looks like he's taking a shit. He does. Like, I was watching the movie that they make fun of Twilight in. I can't remember the name of it. I think it's called Vampires Suck, actually. The scene from the original Twilight is reenacted when she walks into the classroom and Robert Pattinson smells her smell. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so let's take a solid look at Robert Pattinson here.
He's not like the worst looking dude.
Bad, but he strikes me as like the buddy cop version of a Batman.
Did you ever watch The 100?
The 100? No.
It's a show on CW. There's a guy in there. His name's John Murphy. He looks like a great value version of that person.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I want to give him a chance. I really do, acting, because
I'll let him run it. Maybe he does amazing. But
Batman.
when I heard he refuses to do any training for the role,
no,
I was so mad.
He's gonna look like my sister's boyfriend.
I'm like, wait, you're telling me Bruce Wayne, who's a genetic specimen, right? He's supposed to be like 6'3" or 6'4", 250 pounds of solid lean muscle.
Not like, Robert Pattinson.
I'm like, wait, the fuck's. I'm like, who played him before? Who played Batman before? Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Put on like 30 to 40 pounds of solid muscle.
So amazing too.
To just barely fill out that suit. And then he's like, I am never doing that again because that was super hard.
Yeah.
Here's this twig who's like, I'm not even going to put on any weight. I don't even want to try. And I don't know how big this dude is, but he does not look big.
He's not big. I think he's probably about my size, maybe a little bit bigger, but not by much. Definitely, he's just a really lean person, that's for sure. After having Ben Affleck be so beefy.
Oh, he's 165 and he's 6'1". He's a twig.
I should probably get going.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap this up. So where can people find you and where?
So my Instagram would be, I believe it's Aniee Rae Writes, and that's it. That's
okay.
2 E's with
and then
the Annie.
On pages?
I don't think anything else outside of Instagram for now.
Okay. So find you on Instagram once you start publishing stuff. You'll let me know and I'll share it.
Yeah.
And then,
sure.
yeah, dude, it's always a pleasure talking to you. Let me know once you start publishing books or if you start, your own podcast,
I'm going to do it.
Right?
I'm going to do this.
Yeah. Fun, right? It's
Have
fun.
my son on there with me.
It's fun.
It is fun.
It's fun.
This wasn't that bad.
Right? It's not as scary. This is why Irvin did so well. He was 5 minutes in and he was like, this is fun. This is fun. I can do this. So yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining. This has been Asylum Radio and I'll catch you guys next time.